Hello, good evening. Thank you. We have reconvened from closed session, and I'd like to make the following announcement. By a 5-0 vote, the City Council authorized and directed the City Attorney's Office to defend the case of Hernandez versus the City of Elk Grove as identified by the case number on the City Council meeting agenda. With that, we will adjourn the special meeting at 6:16 p.m. and switch that over to our regular meeting. At this time, I will call to order the regular Elk Grove City Council meeting. The time is 6:16 p.m. Today's April the 9th, 2025. Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. This meeting of the Elk Grove City Council is recorded with closed captioning. The recording will be cablecast on Metro Cable Channel 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast and DirecTV UVerse cable systems. The recording will also be video streamed at metro14live.saccounty.gov. Tonight's meeting replays will be on Friday, April 11th at 1 p.m. and Tuesday, April 15th at 9 a.m. on Metro Channel 14. Once posted, the recordings of this and previous meetings can be viewed on demand at 3ws.elkgrovecity.org or youtube.com/metrocable14. For members of the participating audience who may have personal electronic devices, please place them on silent mode during the meeting or on mute when you are not speaking. The Elk Grove City Council welcomes, appreciates, and encourages participation in the City Council meeting. City Council requests that you limit your presentation to 3 minutes per person so that all present will have time to participate. City Council reserves the right to reasonably limit the total time for public comment on any particular notice agenda item as it may deem necessary. Pursuant to Resolution Number 2010-24, no individual speaker concerning public comment may address the City Council for more than 3 minutes. If you wish to address the Council during the meeting, please complete a blue speaker card, which can be found at the back of the chamber, and provide it to Assistant City Clerk Brenda Haggard prior to consideration of the agenda item. With that, Mayor, I'll move into the roll call. And starting with the roll call, I will start with Councilmember Spies. Present. Councilmember Brewer.
Present.
Councilmember Suen.
Here.
Vice Mayor Robles.
Here.
And Mayor Singh Allen.
Here. All right, next up is our land acknowledgement. Would the Vice Mayor please assist in reading that?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We honor and respect and acknowledge the Elk Grove's first inhabitants, Plain Miwoks, who live as sovereign caretakers of this land and these wastewaters since the time of immemorial. We commemorate and advocate for the descendants, the Wilton Rancheria tribe, the only federalized recognized tribe in Sacramento County, who endure because of the bravery, resilience, determination of their ancestors, tribal members, and leaders.
All right, thank you. Next up is our Pledge of Allegiance. I would like to invite Councilmember Suen to lead us.
Hand over heart. Ready, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, please join us for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Next item is our approval of the agenda. May I get a motion?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Let's see, next item.
Under Section 3, there are no closed session items on the regular agenda, which will advance us to Section 4, our presentations and announcements. And that first item being 4.1, which is recognition of Ethan Almighty and the Kindness Tour. So those
Okay.
representatives, if they can come on up.
Can we get the representatives to come up here by the podium? And our vice mayor will assist us in reading the recognition. Aw.
It's always awesome when we have a pet here.
Can I, you want to go?
We're gonna,
Yes.
we're gonna go ahead and read
Perfect.
the, and then you can provide some statements.
But I would like help with the pronunciation of the breed because
He's a Presa Canario.
Presa Canaria.
Presa Canario.
All right, my accent's coming out on there.
No,
So,
it's good.
So-
Perfect. Sounded perfect.
So, Ethan Almighty, a Presa Canario rescue dog, overcame an unimaginable adversity after being found abandoned near death in January 2021, providing that resiliency isn't just a human trait, but sometimes it comes with 4 paws and a wagging tail. Whereas Ethan's journey for survival and pet stardom has not only earned him the title of American Humane Hero Dog of the Year, but also helped further animal rights and then strengthening and protection against animal cruelty, because when Ethan takes the stand, or sits, or rolls over, people listen. Ethan's kindness takes him across the country, spreading awareness about dogs' welfare, promoting the importance and the rescue efforts, and reminding everyone that kindness, whether pets or people, make the world a better place. Elk Grove is honored to welcome Ethan Almighty as he travels into town April 9th through the 13th, 2025, making a special stop at local schools, leading walking tours on the historic Main Street, and attending Denham and Paul's fundraisers at District 56, where he will, without a question, steal the show. Whereas our community values kindness, resilience, and second chances, whether for people or for pets, Ethan's story reminds us of every animal deserves love, care, and the opportunity to thrive. Therefore, be it resolved that the city of Elk Grove hereby recognizes and expresses sincere appreciation for Ethan Almighty and the unwavering dedication of spreading kindness, advocating for rescue animals, and inspiring communities afar and wide. Welcome Ethan to Elk Grove with open arms and maybe a few belly rubs. Celebrate the powerful impact that he continues to have in the world. Signed this day, April 9th, 2025.
All right.
Thank you very much. I'll be very quick. You guys have a lot of really cool people to recognize tonight. My name is Jeff Calloway. This is my beautiful wife, Dana Calloway, Dee Dee Cox, Peggy Forsyth Andrews, Stephen Camarello, have all been wonderful people in this journey. Ethan was a dog that was left to die in a parking lot and was saved by one random act of kindness. And that random act of kindness, that one person that saved him that day, just changed the life of so many pets around our community and around the country. And so our story has always been, even though his story started horrifically, our story has always been about spreading kindness and spreading awareness and raising awareness for animal abuse. And so in Kentucky, unfortunately, is not a good state for animal welfare, and we fought for 4 long, hard years, and eventually in the state of Kentucky last year got Ethan's Law passed, which makes the intentional torture of a cat or a dog a first offense Class D felony in Kentucky. We are very proud of that. We're also very proud that we have taken Ethan's story, and so many people helped him at the beginning, and now we are giving back. So Ethan, we started a 501c3 nonprofit in his name, and we do free spay and neuter in our community. We do microchipping, we do rabies, and we spread kindness. And that's where this Ethan's Kindness Tour came from. And we've only been in Elk Grove for a few hours, and they talk about being from Kentucky, having Southern hospitality, but you guys have been so very kind to us and so very nice. So we appreciate it very much, and thank you so much for having us.
We're going to come down right there.
So here they all come. We got to get a picture, Mr. Callahan.
We're just cleaning up our mess.
Yeah, we want to clean up a mess.
Yeah, thank you. Up here, buddy.
Thank you all. Thank you. Hi, Darcy. Thank you so much for your work.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much. This is just
We love dogs.
absolutely
Yeah.
sensational. It is.
yeah.
It's fantastic.
We love animals here for sure.
Well, fantastic. You all have been great, and it's just
What a sweetheart. Oh, my goodness.
He's a Spanish man.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Very good. Okay, we're going to look over here.
You gotta get him in here.
There you go. And this is for you. All right.
Get Mr. CBS out of the way. Can you give me the shot here? Gotta get the shot. You guys can, I'll move, you guys get right behind me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Can I get you to move the camera a little bit? 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you so very much. We are very honored. Thank you so very much.
How old is he?
He will be 5. Boy.
All right, we're going to move on. We've got a lot of wonderful recognitions this evening. Thank you. All right, next up is our proclamation recognizing April 2025 as Parkinson's Disease Awareness Month. And I would like to call forward Tim Lumsden, Myron Jansen, and Darren Wilson to the podium. And assisting will be Councilmember Darrenson.
Thank you, Mayor. It's our honor to recognize Parkinson's Awareness Month. This disease touches many families, including even our own Elk Grove family. Whereas Parkinson's disease is a chronic, progressive neurological disease and is the second most common neurodegenerative disease in the United States, and whereas Parkinson's disease is estimated to affect approximately 1 million people in the United States, whereas research suggests the cause of Parkinson's disease is a combination of genetic and environmental factors, but the exact cause and progression of the disease is still unknown. And there is no objective test or biomarker for Parkinson's disease, with no cure or drug to slow or halt the progression of the disease. And whereas the symptoms of Parkinson's disease vary from person to person and can include tremors, slowness of movement and rigidity, difficulty with balance, swallowing, chewing, and speaking, cognitive impairment and dementia, mood disorders, and a variety of other non-motor symptoms. And whereas increased research, education, and community support services, such as those provided by the Parkinson's Foundation, the Parkinson's Association of Northern California, and other organizations are needed to find more effective treatments and to provide access to quality care to those living with the disease today. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the City Council of the City of Elk Grove hereby affirms and proclaims April 2025 as Parkinson's Awareness Month in the City of Elk Grove and encourages the community to join the volunteers, researchers, caregivers, and medical professionals who are working to improve the quality of life of persons living with Parkinson's disease and their families. Thank you so much for being here to represent, and it's good to see you again, Mr. Wilson.
Good evening. On behalf of the Parkinson's Association of Northern California, I want to thank Mayor Singh Allen, Vice Mayor Robles, Member Suen, Bruin Spies, and of course, Jim Wilson, who last year started this whole thing. Through the stats you talked about, California currently has 117,000 people with Parkinson's. That works out statistically to about 550 people in the Elk Grove area, which is a large number if you think about it. Evidence shows, as you've mentioned, environmental factors, paraquat, smog is now becoming just a possible causal factor. So there's an increasing rate also of the disease itself. 3 or 4 years ago, it was averaging 60,000 patients per year being identified as having Parkinson's. It is now 90,000 a year, and it's growing. And what these stats don't include is that California, from Bakersfield to Sacramento, is considered a hotbed of Parkinson's activity, partially due to the agricultural community that we've all lived in for most of our lives. Early signs of Parkinson's, have you talked about earlier, bradykinesia, slowness, you name it, and loss of smell. People never realize that loss of smell could be an early sign of Parkinson's. I myself am a member of that one. Since I was about 13, I had essential tremors, which is another hereditary factor that means you're more likely to get Parkinson's than the average person. So when my hand was shaking when I was doing stuff, I never thought about it. I've had it for a long time. But when my hand started to shake when I was at rest, it's like, oh, what was this? And then it was not until my neurologist diagnosed me as having Parkinson's in 2018, loss of smell, which happened really about 20 years ago, which I blamed on my work environment, was an early sign. One of the best ways to slow the progression of Parkinson's is exercise. And for some of us, that is through Rock Steady Boxing, a nationwide program. The Rock Steady program is run, the name here in Elk Grove is Rock Steady Warrior Fit. It's run by Kevin Quinn. Kevin and his trainers provide classes in El Dorado Hills, Carmichael, and at the Reset Gym down in Elk Grove on East Elk Grove Boulevard, or East Stockton Boulevard. The training involves a lot of aerobic, strength, balance, foot movement, going back and forth. Yes, we do don boxing gloves. No, we don't box each other. That would be counterintuitive. But what I really enjoy is when the trainers get on the boxing mitts or occasionally the full pads and say, come on, Tim, let's go spend a minute or two sparring out in the middle of the gym. They'll tap me in the head and say, keep your hands up, keep your foot moving and stuff, watch what you're doing. But it's that kind of movement and activity that keeps us going. The trainers, they're key to this whole program. They push us, they care for us, they cajole us, they teach us, and at the end of the class, it's like, okay, we'll stand up, and the last thing we'll do is we'll do a chant. And we do it because vocalization is a problem for Parkinson's people. I myself, my wife keeps telling me your voice is softer, and now I've noticed myself, I'm slurring my words a little bit, which is not good. But the chant goes, tough love on our side, that feeling of pride. And that's really what we have. It's a lot of tough love, a lot of pride. The Parkinson's Association of Northern California chapter that meets here, or not here, at the Senior Center at 10:15 on the third Wednesday of each month, is run by Myron Jansen and Sherry Rezer. And it's to those two people that this proclamation should be given, because really, they're the force that holds us together. And then finally, I'd like to thank my wife and my family, because without them, my disease would be a whole lot farther along. Thank you. Jim?
Madam Mayor, members of the council, it's great to be back. Good to see all the colleagues. Miss you guys. As I tell people how retirement's going, I say, I miss the clowns, not the circus. So, it's good seeing everyone, and I thank you, Jason, for reaching out to be able to speak, as I made this suggestion back in early or late July. And to kind of feed off of Tim, my notes are not about what Parkinson's is about, but what's progressing in the treatment. So although the proclamation talks about no biomarkers that are widely accepted, there's a current biomarker that was detected by the decades of clinical studies and hundreds of millions of dollars through the Michael J. Fox Foundation, biomarker found in the spinal fluid. But anybody that's known that had a spinal tap, that's a very invasive procedure and very painful. I haven't had it, but trust me, I wouldn't want to have it. But so right now, currently, doctors and researchers are looking at other means to detect that biomarker through blood tests or imaging. So that's key. And why is that key? Because a biomarker, it predetermines you'll get the disease, but you can treat it earlier. And the more people you treat earlier in the disease, not only do you treat their disease, you have a better success for a cure. So right now, the current diagnosis is just through clinical symptoms that Tim mentioned. I will say some of these motor or non-motor symptoms can be detected very early. There's many even before the tremors come along that you should get tested. It could be gait. It could be, I have Parkinson's on my left side. It's swinging of the left arm when I don't walk. It doesn't swing when I walk. So those are indications. And loss of smell is one. I fortunately still have my nasal senses, so that's good. Constipation, chronic constipation they're saying in men can be 4 times if you have that you'll get Parkinson's. So don't look at the fact that you have tremors, that now's the time to get looked at. I suggest people get online. There's many resources. I named one, Michael J. Fox Foundation, at michaeljfox.org, and then Parkinson's Foundation at Parkinson's, or you can get information on symptoms, tests, clinical studies that are occurring. So I appreciate this council bringing this proclamation. I'm very proud to be, a former employee of Elk Grove. I miss you guys, and thank you, and hopefully we'll see you before next April.
Mr. Brother Darren.
Yes, thank you.
We're going to come and present the proclamation.
Yes.
You're going to come here?
Buddy. Miss you.
Want to come this way? And we're going to look.
I promise it won't fall on you.
It's okay.
Yeah,
No
that'd be
worries.
bad, that'd be bad. Yep.
All right, our next item is 4.3, proclamation recognizing April 2025 as American Muslim Appreciation and Awareness Month. At this time, I would like to call forward the new Executive Director for CARE, Mr. Rashad Nurzeh. And you can bring forward whomever you want as well. Oh, why did I say Mr.? Sorry. And presenting is Rod Brewer.
Thank you, Mayor. And congratulations to Rashad. And thank you for being here tonight for us as we acknowledge American Muslim Appreciation and Awareness Month. So whereas the city of Elk Grove takes great pride in supporting individual religious freedoms and is strengthened by the diverse religious and cultural traditions of its residents, including those who practice Islam. And whereas Muslims in Elk Grove represent a racially, ethnically, and culturally diverse population united by shared values of compassion, service, family, education, and justice, and have enriched the city through civic engagement, social services, interfaith collaboration, and entrepreneurship. And whereas Elk Grove benefits from the dedicated service of spiritual and community anchors like Masjid El Tawhid, MAS Sacramento, and Tarbiyah House Elk Grove, alongside vital nonprofit contributions from Al Mizbah, MAS Social Services Foundation, and CARE Sacramento Valley and Central California. And whereas the city's cultural and economic landscape is enriched by Muslim-owned businesses, including Darbar Halal Restaurant, Marhaba Halal Market, Rumi's Oasis, Adams International Market, and Medina Market, further contributing to a more inclusive and engaged community. And whereas the continual efforts of Muslim residents, institutions, organizations, and businesses significantly enhance Elk Grove, fostering a more inclusive, compassionate, and civically engaged city for all. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Elk Grove hereby affirms and proclaims the month of April 2025 as American Muslim Appreciation and Awareness Month, honoring the profound contributions of local Muslim community and reaffirming the city's commitment to inclusion, mutual respect, and the celebration of all communities who help shape our shared future. Signed on this day, 9th of April, 2025. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Ms. Nurzeh. My Apologies. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, and distinguished guests. Thank you all for being here today. I'm not Rashad. I'm the executive director. My name is Nayera Kokela. I am the Outreach and Programs Manager for the Council on American Islamic Relations. I'll be humbly accepting the Imam Proclamation on behalf of CARE SVCC. It's an honor to join you as we celebrate American Muslim Appreciation and Awareness Month. This occasion serves as an opportunity to reflect on the significant contributions of the Muslim community in Elk Grove and the broader Sacramento Valley region. Muslims in this area representing diverse backgrounds continue to enrich our city, guided by core Islamic values of sincerity, compassion, service, justice, and community. In Elk Grove, our mosques, such as Masjid al-Tawheed, serve as spiritual anchors and vital community centers, especially for Afghan families. And institutions like Mass Sacramento and Tarbiyah House Elk Grove provide essential religious education, youth programming, and community engagement, inspiring future generations to live by the values of Islam. And organizations such as Al Misbah and Mass Sacramento and Mass Social Services Foundation and CARE Sacramento Valley are dedicated to supporting refugees and advocating for civil rights and fostering interfaith collaboration. And their work really truly aligns with the prophetic teaching that the best of people are those who are most beneficial to others. And these efforts truly help build an inclusive and compassionate Elk Grove where all residents feel supported and valued. And the Muslim-owned businesses in our city not only provide diverse cuisine, but also serve as spaces for cultural exchange, offering a window into the rich cultural traditions that Muslims from various backgrounds and ethnicities bring to Elk Grove. So this month we do celebrate these contributions and the collective efforts of the Muslim community to live out the values of our faith, like mercy and justice and service and community. And together we're working on actively moving towards a shared future that's built on mutual respect and understanding. So on behalf of the Muslim community in Elk Grove, I want to express heartfelt gratitude to the Elk Grove City Council for recognizing our efforts and for fostering a spirit of inclusion and respect. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you, Madam Mayor, council members. My name is Muhammad Aziz. I speak on behalf of the Muslim community, but particularly the Tarbiyah Institute that has a thriving tenure here in Elk Grove because of how incredible this community is. I pray that this recognition will act as an impetus that will encourage members of our community and other communities to excel, to do better, to become the best that they can be, to continue to serve. We live in very difficult times across the board. Every single one of us feels that pain, feels that pressure every single day. To choose to still be compassionate and loving indicates that you see hope in tomorrow. If there's one shared value that we all have, I think it is that hope in a better tomorrow. There's so many people in this country that are so invested in some type of an erroneous understanding of what makes America great. I think more energy needs to be spent in what makes America kind, what makes America friendly, loving, supportive, what makes America cohesive, what makes America beautiful. And perhaps if all that is taken care of, maybe America will become great. Thank you so much.
Hear, hear. We would like to invite any other members of the Muslim community to please join.
Beautiful proclamation.
Thank you, Imam Aziz. You're always love hearing from you. Thank you. Such a powerful speaker. So I'll come in the middle. Is that okay? Okay. This is for you, sister. so much. You want to come here, sir? Please join, yeah.
Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And to my Muslim brothers and sisters, I want to thank you again for coming this evening. And I just want you to know that our city, we know that these are challenging times for our Muslim brothers and sisters nationwide and globally. And we are with you. We stand with you in these challenging times. You are but a phone call away from me, whatever I can do to step up and help heal those wounds. Thank you. All right, next up is our proclamation recognizing April 2025 as Autism Acceptance Month, and presenting that will be our Councilmember Spies. I would like to call forward Amanda Stark with EG Speaks, and anybody else you would like to bring forward. Thank you.
And Mayor, as the folks are coming forward to the speaker podium, there's a speaker also on this item, so just as a note.
That speaker is actually with me, so we can just kind of slide her over if that's fine.
Perfect, that sounds great.
Perfect, okay. Autism Acceptance Month, April 2025. Whereas Autism Acceptance Month, previously named Autism Awareness Month, celebrates and promotes acceptance for the neurological disability that more than 5.4 million adults and 1 in every 36 children in the United States has been diagnosed. And whereas autism is a developmental disability that results in neurological changes that may create differences in the way an individual interacts with others, thinks, feels, and experiences the environment around them. And whereas the City of Elk Grove acknowledges Autism Acceptance Month to foster acceptance, awareness, and inclusiveness within the community. And whereas the City of Elk Grove is honored to take part in the annual observance of Autism Acceptance Month and World Autism Awareness Day in the hope that it will lead to a better understanding and acceptance. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council and the City of Elk Grove hereby affirms and proclaims April 2025 as Autism Acceptance Month and April 2nd, 2025 as World Autism Awareness Day in Elk Grove, California, to raise public awareness about autism and the resources and organizations which support affected individuals and families within our community. Signed this 9th day of April 2025.
Go ahead, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for this incredible recognition of Autism Acceptance Month. I speak on behalf of the autistic community here in Elk Grove as an autistic mom and of autistic children. For those of you who don't know me, I am the CEO and president of a local grassroots 501c3 nonprofit organization, EG Speaks, students, parents, and educators advocating for kids in special education. Through the work that we have done in special education advocacy, we have identified several other areas of need in our community, gaps that we are striving to fill through programs that we have developed. Support groups, social clubs and play groups, and mentorship programs, in addition to continuing to offer advocacy services. We are going beyond addressing the needs in schools and within our district and are advocating for more access to our disabled youth across the entire community. I was at the city event at District 56 a couple years ago where Mayor Singh Allen acknowledged the Transgender Day of Visibility and assured our community that Elk Grove is a city for all. And I see this lived in the efforts that our city puts forward to make this a reality. I also want to highlight areas for our community where there's a lot more work to be done. And Some of those areas are things like our parks, and I'm really thrilled to see that actually one of our members has become a oversight committee member there, so that we can start taking up work to make our parks more inclusive for our autistic children. A lot of people don't understand that there are different needs that aren't always visible to people, where our parks actually need to be fenced in because our children elope, and it's very dangerous and unsafe. So oftentimes families don't have access. They can't take their kids places that most people can. And with a few simple changes, that can be fixed. And so in addition to that, we attended the Multicultural Festival for the last 2 years to create a sensory space to make the Multicultural Festival and other city events accessible to families that have children with disabilities. And actually, I'd say not just children with disabilities, we also had adults with disabilities access that space. We had many parents and adults tell us that they came to that event because they knew that they had a safe place to have reprieve and otherwise wouldn't have attended something like that. So our community needs more education and exposure to disability in general. When children with disabilities are offered these opportunities, they thrive, and we thrive together as a community. With our services and supports under threat now by the federal government, it is even more imperative now that we find ways within our smaller communities to support our autistic and disabled family, friends, and neighbors. Our organization can act as a resource and a collaborator, but there are also a lot of other disability organizations across the state as well, and opportunities to connect with disabled youth right here in our city. So I'll wrap this up with an ask or to encourage all of you to think about what you can do to participate as allies and help champion our community. Thank you.
Thank you. You go down? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
My name is Courtney Arozina, and I'm speaking today in strong support of the resolution recognizing April as Autism Acceptance Month. The use of the word acceptance in the resolution is an important step toward shifting the conversation from simply being aware of autism to truly embracing and supporting the autistic community. Acceptance means valuing neurodiversity, advocating for inclusion, and creating environments where autistic individuals can thrive. It's about more than awareness. It's about listening to autistic voices, honoring their needs, and building a community where they are genuinely included and celebrated for who they are. That includes providing more spaces that are welcoming and accommodating to autistic and neurodivergent people. Until this year, I believed my journey with autism began when my now 14-year-old son started experiencing developmental delays. But I've since learned that autism has always been a part of my life when I was recently diagnosed myself. For our family, autism isn't something to be feared or fixed. It's part of who my son is, part of who I am. It's something to be respected and embraced. As my son Nathan would tell you, it just means our brains work a little differently. Over the past 14 years, our journey has often been lonely and difficult. Even well-meaning friends and family sometimes struggle to understand. Then we formed EG Speaks, a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting disabled students and their families in our region. It has become one of my greatest blessings. Having this community has been life-changing. If you're a parent in Elk Grove looking for empathy, understanding, or support, please reach out. We'd love to welcome you into the EG Speaks family. Let's continue working together to make Elk Grove a city that truly values neurodiversity and is committed to building a more compassionate, inclusive future for everyone.
We're going to present the proclamation.
I'm not class.
Good to see you too. Thank you so much.
I'm Sergio.
We're gonna.
Oh, sorry, I'm.
Come on here, sweetheart. There you go. We're gonna come here.
I like Dr. Pepper. It tastes like 20
Some here. There we go. Okay.
Just
We're gonna look over there.
fill them in. There you go, wherever they go. This is kind of, yep.
I want to see, I want to be able to see your face. There you go. Perfect. Oh, there we go. Okay, everybody, look at me. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good to see you too.
Just so everyone can hear, you guys are selling merchandise for EG Speaks, right?
We are, yes. We're doing a merch fund. There's a fundraiser on Saturday at a Seat at the Table Book.
Awesome.
Come check us
All right.
out. Yeah.
All right, we are going to move to our next item, which is our Stars of Service Awards. So April is National Volunteer Month, a month dedicated to recognizing the importance of volunteering and honoring the significant contributions that volunteers make by generously donating their time and talents to worthy causes. One of the honors the City Council and I have is to recognize Elk Grove residents who volunteer their time and talent to make Elk Grove a better place to call home. Our Stars of Service Awards recognize residents in 7 different categories. With so many deserving nominations submitted for this year, for the program this year, it is very difficult to choose. But I do want to thank the group that assisted with reviewing this year's applications, which included Vice Mayor Sergio Robles, Kara Taylor Seaman, Alicia Tutt, Sydney Robertson, Tina Lee Vogt, Jessica Carter, Mia Foster, Brenda Walker, Brett Bartholomew, and Matthew Arnold. Now, let me announce our recipients for 2025. In the category of residents, neighborhoods, and community groups, the recipients are Catherine and Kim Mendoza. They were nominated by Estelle Drake. The Mendoza sisters, Catherine and Kimberly, tirelessly worked to rescue and care for Elk Grove's community and feral cats, advocating for the city's support amid rising overpopulation caused by shelter shutdowns during COVID. In 2024, this partnership saved over 750 street cats from unchecked reproduction, and the work continues in 2025 to protect and improve the lives of Elk Grove's community cats. Please join me in recognizing Catherine and Kim Mendoza. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, everyone, especially the council for choosing us for this award. We also wanted to thank our volunteers, some of which are here today, including Estella Drake, Paula Schickleman, and Diana Schramm Agnello. We also wanted to thank our family that came to celebrate us today. They flew in from San Francisco, and also our parents that are here today with us. We also wanted to thank the shelter, especially Director Sarah Humley for allowing us, for also helping us with outreach and allowing us to host TNR workshops at the shelter. We also wanted to thank the community of Elk Grove and for all of their support and donations towards our 501c3. We also have a website if anybody would like any more information or also needs assistance with feral cats. And it's just www.elkgrovecatrescuegroup.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like to invite
So much for
family?
your service. Congratulations.
Friends and family are welcome to join. Don't be shy now. Come on. Just have the camera to someone else and take a picture. Okay.
Good, thanks, nice to meet you.
Come on here, bud. Are you?
Okay.
Who else is coming up? Oh, grandparents, excellent. Your flower is
These girls right here, you guys, they're champs. They're like master trappers too. Sorry, sir.
Good to meet you.
Yeah.
I'm the dad, that's my parents.
Okay, let's back up a little bit. Make room here.
Más para atrás, un
Do
poquito
you
para
have
atrás.
your award also? Okay. You wanna come up? You can come up if you like, sir. All right, here we go.
Ay, mira,
Shorties.
Okay, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Let's do another one. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Mucho gusto, mi nombre es Sergio.
Sergio Aurelio Mendoza. Sergio López. Nietas. Venimos desde San Francisco nomás para esto. Okay.
All right, we're going to go on to our next community award in the category of Social and Community Service. The recipient is Brittany Davis. Brittany was nominated twice by Robert Davis and Leanne Slayton. Brittany Davis is a dedicated community leader, philanthropist, and founder of Rise Women in Business. As a top realtor and active volunteer, she supports Elk Grove Rotary, the local PTO, and multiple local causes. Her fundraising efforts have raised thousands for youth sports, families in need, and the Firefighter Burn Institute. Through her nonprofit and events like the Color Run, she empowers women and strengthens the Elk Grove community. Please join me in recognizing Brittany Davis.
I didn't make a speech for tonight, so just thank you so much for the honor, and I couldn't have done it without my family. Being a fireman's wife, I got to have a lot of reinforcements throughout coordinating to be able to give this service back to Elk Grove where I've grown up, so I'm just really honored to be a part of Elk Grove and making it a better place.
Thank you. Stay right there.
Thank you for your service. Congratulations. I just told John to watch it too.
Congratulations.
Do you have other family members? She's waiting.
Anybody else want to join? I think 1 or 2. 1.
Speaking of reinforcements.
Come on in. Okay, perfect. All right.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Okay.
Service keys. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then one more. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
All right. Congratulations again.
Three is it? It's it. I know.
All right. Next is the category of arts, and the recipient are the entire Arts Commission. Nominated by Brett Bartholomew. With many of its members devoting nearly 20 years of service for the city's art and culture scene, the Arts Commission made a significant impact on the city's quality of life. From hosting incredible events and productions like the History of the Blues and the Arts Americana Festival, to recognizing local talent through their Iris Awards, Arts Commissioners demonstrated the immeasurable value that arts brings to our quality of life. Their contributions are easily seen on the Avenue of the Arts at District 56 and in many other public art installations throughout the city. For their numerous contributions to the city arts and entertainment scene, please join me in recognizing the Arts Commission. Members Nan Mahan, Cheryl Grice, Sally Guttridge, Liz Irons, and Leslie Sandifer. Would our friends come forward? I see some coming up. And I believe Ms. Guttridge is in Europe. Yep, please come forward.
And Leslie is also absent.
Oh, okay. There comes Nan. Would you like to say something? We're going to have our fearless leader here, Nan.
Want me to say something?
Would either of you like to say something, or all?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to?
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you very much for this honor. It's been my pleasure to serve on the Arts Commission. I am proud that we have implemented utility box murals, murals on bridges, Avenue of the Arts, such as The Beautiful Dancer, artwork at our beautiful animal shelter, and our last project was the upcoming library. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just briefly, I didn't have a speech, but thank you for the opportunity for over 21 years serving on this commission. It's been wonderful, and give us an opportunity to promote the visual and performing arts. Okay,
thank you.
The arts community in Elk Grove is rather large, and it grows every day. We have wonderful art galleries here. We have local musicians and writers. We have an outstanding variety of the visual, performing, and literary arts here. I, for one, plan to continue in that community, working as I can to help it sustain it and help it to grow. We are proud as a commission of the work that we have done over the past few years, been able to fulfill some of our dreams, and because art to us is a passion, and we will continue to sustain it here in Elk Grove in our own way, in our own time. And so thank you for this award. We do appreciate it.
Congratulations. Thank you for being here.
Can I say I need to stand by somebody's short.
There won't be any of the council, unfortunately. All right, let's all walk in here. There we go.
Okay, I'm gonna take a few shots, and then she's gonna take a shot.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. Oops, sorry.
Haha.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you for the honor.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Now I gotta get out of your way.
Thank you for the honor.
Thank you. Congratulations.
All right. In the category of culture and heritage, the recipient is Dennis Busher. Dennis was nominated 3 times by Brett Bartholomew, Jeanette Lawson, and Dinah Withrow. Dennis Busher is the heart of the historical preservation in Elk Grove, dedicating decades to safeguarding the city's heritage. As an integral part of the Elk Grove Historical Society, he has documented and protected the region's history for future generations. He was honored as the 2024 Historian of the Year and serves on the city's Historical Preservation Committee. His passion and mentorship make history accessible and meaningful to the community. Please join me in recognizing Dennis Busher.
Hi, I'm very honored, and I want to thank you for this this award for the service. I'm the 4th generation resident to live in Elk Grove, live within a mile from where my great-grandparents immigrated in 1870 from Germany into Elk Grove. Elk Grove has a very rich history that I like to remind and get out to people. It dates back over 2,000 years, where our Native Americans lived along the Cosumnes River. During the gold rush period, our farmers along the Cosumnes, the McCollum, and the Sacramento River, this was created a breadbasket to feed the gold rush miners up in the Sierra foothills. When this was part of Mexico, it was called Alta California, went Mexico all the way up to the Oregon border. The capital of this area was in Monterey. We had the Sutter's Fort in Sacramento. The trail between Sutter's Fort and Monterey was known as the Monterey Trail. Along that trail, they needed a rest stop for the horses every so often. So the beginning of Elk Grove began at Elk Grove House, which was along the Monterey Trail, which the Elk Grove Historical Society has reconstructed at the west entrance to the Elk Grove Park. And this was the beginning of Elk Grove and the beginning of the post office in Elk Grove in 1850. It is now our museum, our 2-story museum, where we have documented and have on display the history of Elk Grove from back about over 2,000 years ago up through about the middle of the 1900s. It's open the first Saturday of every month. We have an excellent research library there that documents the history. And if anyone wants to research our history even more, they can make appointments to research it in our library. I want to thank you again for this award, for doing something that I have such a passion for. Thank you.
I can take your paper, you got it?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Tamara.
Yes, congratulations. Oh, thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I'm gonna have to come and do the research.
Yes, you do, yes.
First Saturday.
Oh, Dennis, I want to give this to you.
Oh, well,
So
thank you.
from our Sacramento Public Library Board meeting, this was presented to us by the author. And it has rich history on the Sacramento history as well.
Okay, thank you very much. I will read that.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you.
All right, continuing on, in the category of sports and recreation. All I said was sports. Clearly, we know who the recipient is, Harminder Kangura, or Coach Harry, as everyone calls him. Coach Harry was nominated 3 times by Sukhminder Kaur, Crystal, and I'm going to butcher this, Enbisk, and Deborah Carlton. After retiring from law enforcement, Harminder Kangura dedicated himself to youth soccer, shaping young lives through mentorship and leadership. As a coach and board member, he has expanded access to soccer, ensuring all children, regardless of background, can participate and thrive. He played a key role in organizing major tournaments, bringing a national recognition to Elk Grove and boosting the local economy. His efforts in securing sponsorships and financial aid have removed barriers, making soccer accessible to all families in the community. Please join me in recognizing Coach Harry.
Wow. Yeah. Well, Madam Mayor, City Council, thank you so much for the award. A little over 10 years ago, I had the honor of serving, protecting a local community as a police officer. Fortunately, circumstances of near fatal car accident took that away from me. For the next couple of years, as I recovered, I struggled to find out what my role was going to be in this world. In Sikhism, there's a huge factor of that we call seva, which is service above self. It's something that really has resonated with me my entire life. I hope to pass that on to my kids, but not only them, but as you can see, the group of kids that are here right now. During that time when I was trying to find myself, Elk Grove Soccer came into my life. I had the opportunity to go first as a parent, and then, the guy that was on the, I was the over-involved dad that just kept on, I knew everything, I thought, but, I had the opportunity to start serving the community in other ways that previously that I felt was gone. And I personally feel that I'm up here getting the award, but I'm not the one doing the service here. It's the community that I'm able to serve. It's the kids, the parents, it's Elk Grove. And I'm truly honored for the opportunity to be a part of this community, to have the ability to hopefully shape it, and hopefully one day, hopefully one day Dennis has something about me in the Historical Society that says that, hopefully I can say that at least Elk Grove was better than when I found it, and this world was better. And hopefully all that can be done through the service that's been given to me by the fantastic parents at Elk Grove Soccer, the board, everyone that's come out here to support me. I just cannot, this is amazing for me to be up here and have this opportunity. I never would have thought it. So, but thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Thank you, everyone from the
Congratulations.
2012 boys and the 2012 girls teams. Thank you so much. And if you're interested, registration is open at elkgrovesoccer.com if you want to get coached from.
All right. You want to bring?
Yeah, everyone can
all
come,
this.
please, everyone.
I'm so tall.
It's okay. Let's go.
I stand out so much though. Yeah. This guy broke. Oh yeah.
You guys want to do 2 rolls?
It's not fun with
Taller ones in the back?
I'm taller. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to now move on to our next category. We'll give a few seconds here for our students to exit. All right. We're going to continue on to our next category. In the category of service organizations and groups, the recipient is Sacramento Splash. Nominated twice by Eugene Lee and Shonda Moore. Sacramento Splash is a leader in environmental education, inspiring thousands of Elk Grove students to explore and appreciate nature through hands-on learning. Their strong partnerships with local schools and organizations have made environmental education more accessible and impactful in our community. Even through challenges like the pandemic, Sacramento Splash remained dedicated to its mission, adapting and continuing to serve students with innovative learning opportunities. Thanks to their work, future generations will have a deeper understanding and commitment to protecting our natural world. Please join me in congratulating and recognizing Sacramento Splash.
Anymore. Oh, what I'm on, yay. Mayor and council, thank you for recognizing me. Mackenzie Weezer, CEO of Sacramento Splash. How do I top the soccer team? I mean, it's real hard not to follow that up, but I echo Coach Harry's sentiments exactly. The reason I do what we do at Sacramento Splash is to leave the communities better than we found them and to encourage kids to get off of this and out into the outdoors and exploring in nature. And I am not winning this award, but all of my staff is winning this award, and we have our program manager here at our Project Historic Nicholas Dairy program that's here in Elk Grove, but technically not in Elk Grove in the county, but in Elk Grove, okay? It's a historic farmstead Class A dairy farm that is now hosting over 7,700 of Elk Grove Unified School District students, where we're teaching them all about sustainable agriculture, composting, parts of a flower, pollinators, you name it, anything circular economy thinking, because we need to be thinking that way in order to save all the precious resources. So we're super glad to have Elk Grove support, and we're happy to receive this award.
All right.
Yes.
A lot of great people.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations.
Hi, girls. Hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right, here we go. Ready, Mr. Pease? Sure, why not? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. And there we go. Thank you. One more. 1, 2, 3. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, our final category is Youth Volunteer of the Year, and the recipient is Pratham Rangwala. Nominated by Femi Omotesho. Pratham has served as Vice Chair of the Elk Grove Youth Commission and has shown exceptional leadership and dedication to youth advocacy in the community. He led the Youth Needs Assessment Subcommittee, gathering essential feedback from students to shape future city policies and youth programs. Pratham co-emceed the City Leaders Youth Forum, creating a platform for students to engage with local leaders, and played a key role in planning various community events. His positive attitude, collaborative approach, and organizational skills have made him an invaluable member of the Youth Commission, and his contributions will have a lasting impact in Elk Grove's youth. Please join me in recognizing Pratham Rangwala.
Hello, Mayor and City Council members. Thank you for presenting me with this award. I'm really honored to be recognized up here. Over the last 3 years, I've had so much fun working with the Youth Commission and seeing the reach of our events and programs all around our community and with my peers. And it's really just been so rewarding and super fun. And I know you mentioned the Youth Needs Assessment. I'm glad that it got so much traction because that was one of my favorite projects that I worked on as a commissioner. And I saw it in the city newsletter, and that made me really happy too that it was such a big deal. So thank you guys for that. And I also want to thank all of you for appointing me to the commission in the first place 3 years ago. Dr. Femi for being such a supportive advisor, and also the rest of the Youth Commission, as nothing would be possible without each and every one of them. It's been an honor getting this award and being involved in this with the city, and although I'll miss this place when I go to college this fall, I want to continue making a difference even in college. Thank you.
Congratulations. Where are you going?
Berkeley College.
Good for you. Yeah, just for, he's going to Cal. No big deal.
Save the best for last.
No big deal.
Darren went to Stanford.
Please. Who else? Femi?
Thank you.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. All right.
Thank you. Congratulations. In conclusion, I would like to thank Catherine and Kim Mendoza, Brittany Davis, the Arts Commissioners, Nan Mahon, Cheryl Grice, Sally Guttridge, Liz Irons, and Leslie Sandifer, Dennis Busher, Harminder Kangura, Sacramento Splash, and Pratham Rangwala for the significant impact on the quality of life that you've provided for our city. If you know someone you'd like to nominate next year, please visit the city's website for more information at www.elkgrovecity.org/stars of service. With that, we will move on to our next item, which is public comment. And we will start, let's see. I'll go ahead and open up the public comment opportunity. We have 2 people signed up, David Irons, followed by Lynn Wheat.
Hello, Council and Mayor. I've been a part of the Elk Grove Anti-Trash Group for about 5 years now, cleaning up Elk Grove, and I appreciate the cooperation and partnership we've had with the city over that time. The city's gotten cleaner, and I'm very proud of that fact. And so I'd like to bring me to the question of cigarette butts and the fact that they make up about 1/3 of the litter we find in Elk Grove. They tend to get washed down the storm drains into the creeks. So the question is, what are the chances that we could get ballot bins in Elk Grove in high traffic places? There are places where you put cigarette butts to vote on a poll, like who would win the Super Bowl, do you prefer pies or cake, other stuff, and give people a reason to deposit them there because they're not making it to the trash cans as it is. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Lynn Wheat, and that is our final for public comment. Thank you.
Good evening.
So I want to begin by thanking the city manager for responding to my email earlier this week. So I was really interested in what's going on with Slow and Low. And I had many concerns when this was going to be a big economic boost and something that we were promised we couldn't lose at, especially as it was taxpayer money. And unfortunately, we are losing. The city, our taxpayer dollars, put up $500,000 collateral with the bank. The bank's keeping $425,000 of it. The Slow and Low business also put up a property as collateral. Half of it was underwater. And I'm just wondering if the city ever did an appraisal on that. How much are we going to lose, taxpayers, going through the process of foreclosure? Because I'm sure we're not the only ones in line. And I'm thinking $425,000 could have filled that pothole that I came across on Bighorn along Laguna. We have some road projects that need to be taken care of, and I recognize we won an award recently. However, we are a newer city, and that includes the new roads also. So we were told that this economic plan was going to be a big boom, bring jobs, bring lots of activity to Old Town. We, the taxpayers, are losing. It's always easy to spend somebody else's money till it's gone, which leads me to, this was not a lot of money, but the zoo is going to be a lot of money. So I always appreciate the city's newsletter, but I'd like some honesty involved with this. It said that the Sacramento Zoological Society has raised $17.5 million. Well, my understanding, and I might not have the exact number, but they've only deposited a little under $2 million with the city, which means $15.5 million is promises. Well, that doesn't mean we have the cash. You're going to look for bonds. You're going to do some other things. The people in the newer areas are paying for this zoological park. So when we discuss the zoo, I'd like it to be fully transparent. So in 15 years from now, when there's a problem, the people understand where the problem began and who created it. Thank you.
Thank you, and that is our final speaker for public comment. We will move on to our next item, which is our city manager's report.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the City Council. Jason Behrman, City Manager. Several items to report on this evening. As Ms. Wheat noted, I'll provide just a brief update on the Slow and Low. On January 8th of this year, I reported the Slow and Low barbecue restaurant located in historic Main Street on Railroad Street closed its doors effective January 1. City had provided a loan guarantee to River City Bank for the benefit of Slow and Low, guaranteeing a loan of up to $500,000 by pledging city funds that were on deposit with the bank. Slow and Low defaulted on the bank loan, and the bank retained approximately $425,000 of the city's collateral. The city intends to pursue foreclosure against property pledged as collateral by the owner of Slow and Low in order to recover the city's losses. I'll just add a few other things. One is the last time I mentioned that a new barbecue restaurant was intending to open there, Horn Barbecue. They did a hiring event today, and they expect to open in the next several weeks, so we're looking forward to adding them. I'll also say that one of the big things we attempted to do with the Railroad Street was serve as catalyst for other activities that's happening in our historic Main Street. And we're really proud to see the energy and the vibrancy and the activity that's occurred as a result of the work that the city has done and other private enterprises that have occurred. If you look at the number of new businesses and successful businesses down there, we're really proud of the progress that we've seen down in the historic Main Street portion of our community. Next item is just an update that everybody seems to really like, which is our 7,000 sheep and goats that we have around the city, hard at work, helping keep the weeds down and avoid fire dangers. They're out in various parts of the city. There's actually a tracking app on the city's website. You can find it where they are if you want to go out and take a look at them. It's really a photo op opportunity. They'll be there for the next couple months around the city, and they should complete their work in July. So a reminder, our recycling waste team is hosting a compost giveaway at the Elk Grove Park this weekend, April 12th and 13th. Residents can stop by anytime between 8 and 5, loading up their own containers, whatever you have, buckets, bags, or even a pickup truck with free nutrient-rich compost at no cost. Great time of the year to do that with gardening season upon us. Art Grove will host the Day of La Concha, a celebration of Mexican traditional sweetbreads, pan dulce, this Sunday, April 13th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at District 56. This free family event returns for its second year and is sponsored by the city. I'll also note the consolidated plan, which is from 25 to 30, which is part of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, is to guide federal community block grant funds and home funds. That's available for public review. People can find it online or in public libraries or various facilities around the city. You can find more information on our website or by contacting our housing division. And then finally, the Youth Commission invites the community to Family Fun Day on Saturday, April 19th from noon to 4 o'clock at Old Town Plaza. This free annual event features carnival games, music, activities, and more. Food will be available for purchase. And that concludes my report. I'm happy to answer any questions the council might have.
Thank you for your report. Any questions? Sounds good. We will move on to our next item, which is our consent calendar. At this time, I will go ahead and open up the public comment opportunity. Nobody has signed up to speak on a consent calendar item. I will go ahead and close public comment. Any questions or comments? Otherwise, I look for a motion to approve consent.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next item, item 8.1.
8.1 is a public hearing to consider resolution approving a determination of public convenience or necessity for the sale of beer for on-site consumption for the Casumnas Legacy Foundation.
Good evening, Mayor Singh Allen, Vice Mayor Robles, members of the Elk Grove City Council, Antonio Ablog, Planning Manager, here to present to you tonight the Casumnas Legacy Foundation Determination of Public Convenience or Necessity Project. This project consists of a determination of public convenience or necessity, also referred to as a PCN, to allow the issuance of a Type 40 alcohol license from the California Alcoholic Beverage Control. This license would allow the sale of beer from the pro shop at the Emerald Lakes Golf Course. As many of you know, the Emerald Lakes Golf Course is at the south end of the city, just adjacent to State Route 99. It's a 9-hole golf course that's operated by the Casumnas Community Services District. The request for beer sales will occur from the pro shop. They have set aside an area behind the operations counter where they will have a refrigerator to where they will store those alcoholic beverages, namely beer, and the sales will be by the attendants at the pro shop. Related to public convenience or necessity, there are certain times when a request to sell alcohol does require the city council to make a determination of public convenience or necessity in order to grant the license. One is in instances of high crime, and the other is in instances when a census tract is deemed to be over-concentrated with alcohol license sales. For this project, we have coordinated with the police department. It's determined that this subsector for crime reporting had 83 crimes reported in 2024. That is not considered a high crime reporting district. As far as the census tract itself, Alcoholic Beverage Control has determined that more than 4 on-sale licenses within this census tract is considered over-concentrated. This census tract has 9 current on-sale licenses, therefore it's considered over-concentrated. That's why the PCN action is before council this evening. In reviewing those PCN determinations, we look at several factors, including the proximity and number of other retail outlets selling alcohol, the proximity of the retail outlet to schools, playgrounds, or other facilities that serve young people, the proximity of that outlet to residential neighborhoods, and whether that retail outlet would provide a wide range of desirable goods or unique type of goods or service. This census tract that the golf course is located is unique. That census tract covers almost the full boundary of Grant Line Road for the city on the east side. So it stretches all the way from Highway 99 almost up to Calvine Road. As you can see on the map, while there are a number of licenses in the district, most of those are concentrated in Sheldon Old Town. And the only licenses that are in proximity to the Emerald Great Lakes Golf Course are Flatland Brewing, and Arco AM/PM at Grant Line Road, and then the Elks Lodge, which is a private club. Furthermore, as far as uses surrounding the Emerald Lakes Golf Course, the nearest public school is Elk Grove High School, more than 2 miles away. The nearest general recreation public park is Elk Grove Park, over a mile away from Emerald Lakes Golf Course. Of course, there is no residential development near the subject site. And while the Emerald Oaks Golf Course provides opportunities for all community members of all ages to enjoy golf activities, the golf course tends to serve an older demographic. This licensed location would provide a unique type of service in that it's a golf course, and the license would allow golfers and guests to enjoy alcoholic beverages while engaging in the sport, promoting relaxation and socialization, making the course a more attractive destination for golfers and guests. As previously mentioned, those alcoholic beverages will be stored in a refrigerator behind the counter, and only employees will have access. Sales will be limited to the hours between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m., and ID scanners will be used to verify ages before sales occur. And the police department has reviewed the project and determined that there is no public safety reason to oppose the finding of public convenience or necessity for this request. As far as the environmental review, this project is exempt in that CEQA only applies to projects that have the potential for causing a significant effect on the environment. This project will not bring about any physical change on the golf course. Staff's recommendation tonight is that the City Council find that this project is exempt from CEQA and approve the determination of public convenience or necessity for a Type 40 alcohol license for the sale of beer at the Emerald Lakes Golf Course. I'd be happy to answer any questions should you have any.
All right, thank you for your presentation. At this time, I will declare the public hearing is now open. And do we need to invite the applicant? Is there an applicant?
We do have the applicant.
If you wish, you don't have to. If you wanted to provide comments, this would be your opportunity. But it's optional. Mr. O'Connor, no? Okay. All right, then I will go ahead and open up the public comment opportunity. Nobody has signed up to speak on this. I'll close public comment. And you don't want to provide any comments, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and open up to any questions, or I'll look for a motion.
So moved. Second.
All right, motion and second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, we will move on to our next item, 9.1.
And that's to consider resolution approving a conditional loan commitment in support of the proposed Sheldon Farms North Phase 1 affordable housing project.
All right, good evening, Mayor and Council members. I'm Sarah Bontrager, your Housing and Public Services Manager. I'm here tonight to share with you some information on the Sheldon Farms North project, specifically Phase 1 of that project. But by way of background, always a quick reminder that we are planning on talking about our Affordable Housing Fund as the funding source tonight. That is our fund generated by fees on new development that is set aside for use on low-income housing opportunities. The Sheldon Farms North site, which you see here on the slide, was acquired by the city in 2013. It was dedicated by the developer of the single-family homes to the east. It is at Bruceville, or near Bruceville at Sheldon, and along what we hope will someday be the light rail corridor. In 2023, we did a request for proposals. We got 12 proposals for the Sheldon Farms North site. And the Affordable Housing Committee selected Abode to work with on this property. We did a letter of intent with Abode in February of 2024 and then extended it in February 25 to give them some additional time to finalize their strategy for funding their project. The LOI will eventually be replaced with a disposition and development agreement, or a DDA, but that will come later once the project's entitlements package is a bit further along. Overall, this is a project that is 240 units. It's a family apartment complex. It's being proposed in 2 phases to make it competitive for funding. The first phase is 122 units. 25% of those units will be set aside for adults with intellectual or developmental disabilities. You may remember we had a similar project proposed, the Cornerstone Village project, that ultimately didn't move forward. So we're really excited to see this population being served with this project. The second phase is about the same, 118 units. It's likely it will include the units for persons with disabilities, but not for sure yet. The developer held 3 community meetings and took into account the community's perspective when they were refining their design. And we expect the planning entitlement to be approved later this year for this project. So range of affordabilities from extremely low income up to your higher low income level. A range of sizes, 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms for the property, along with an on-site property manager unit. Lots of amenities, a community room, outdoor courtyards, a children's play area. They're actually planning to do a splash pad in the complex for kids to play at. And a good services plan, 15 hours a week of social services, up to 10 of those can be after school programming. So as you see here, this is the Sheldon Farms North Phase 1 site that will be subdivided into 2 separate parcels. You can see here that it's near single-family homes. There's another market rate apartment complex across the street, and near good retail opportunities for folks to shop at. Here's a quick overall site plan. I will turn it over to the developer for a couple minutes after this, who has some additional slides with some updated materials on the design. Overall, the total cost of this project for Phase 1 is $81 million. It ends up being a cost per unit of about $662,000. However, the city's subsidy is just 4% of that at about $28,000 per unit. That's lower than what we've seen on some past projects, but in line with what we've seen on the project we funded most recently. This project will use a variety of funding sources. They're hoping to secure funding from the State Department of Housing and Community Development, as well as to get 4% tax credits. And then they have a few other smaller funding sources for the project. They gave the city a loan application, which our Affordable Housing Committee members reviewed. Some of the project's strengths I'll highlight really quickly. Abode is an experienced developer. This would be their first project in Elk Grove, but they have quite a few properties throughout California. As I mentioned, we really like the inclusion of the units for adults with intellectual or developmental disabilities, which are supported in part by a capitalized operating subsidy reserve to make sure that those units can stay really affordable for that population over many years. Like a lot of our properties that we funded in the last 10 years, this property does have a partnership to help the city address homelessness, which has been really helpful to staff in connecting people experiencing homelessness with housing units. All projects have some weaknesses, and I'll take a second to highlight a couple on this one. The project phasing in this could create a challenge where one of the phases could get built, but the later phase might not get built. Each phase would need to be competitive for financing on its own. We plan to mitigate this weakness through the use of a DDA and option agreement so that they couldn't build the second phase unless the first phase was already under construction. Likewise, ideally, we would do a loan commitment and the DDA concurrently. However, because we don't have the entitlement approvals yet on this project, we want to wait to have an accurate project description to include in the DDA. if we waited until the entitlements were approved, they would miss the funding opportunity for 2025. And we were hoping to get this project going. So we do have a condition in our loan term sheet that requires successful negotiation of a DDA on this. We are proposing, the city owns the land currently. As I said, we got it through dedication. So the city didn't actually pay anything for the land, but we did give the developer a credit on their single family homes that they built for the affordable housing fee. It provides a competitive advantage to this project to have the city agree to sell it at a 20% discount from fair market value. And so that is a part of the loan terms. We are not likely to receive a ton of repayment from this loan. So making that choice to give the discount on it doesn't really impact the city's near-term financial situation. The weaknesses on this project, many of them are not uncommon for these sorts of transactions. We did negotiate a payment structure that prioritizes the city loan payments after the developer fee is paid. We think that this is a really strong project and there will be a lot of demand for it. The project design has a lot of outdoor space and just a little bit of a different look than some of our other projects in Elk Grove. We've had a ton of interest in affordable housing. The lottery that just concluded for the Pardis project received really substantial interest, and our other lotteries have as well. So what you have before you tonight for approval is a loan term sheet. It clarifies the expectations for the developer and the senior lender, and the staff, the Affordable Housing Committee, and the developer all came to agreement on the loan terms of that for this transaction. Loan amount of $3.3 million, which includes about $1.3 million of land value and $2 million in cash from the Affordable Housing Fund. I won't take the time to highlight all of these. The units would be deed restricted for 55 years, consistent with the loan term. And the developer would need to enter into a DDA with the city by December of 2025 and get all of their funding by April of 27. The Affordable Housing Committee met on March 31st to review the project and recommend that the council approve a conditional loan commitment consistent with the draft term sheet for the Phase 1 project. So tonight, the council has the option of approving that conditional loan commitment, requesting that staff continue negotiations on the loan to be brought forward at a later date, or deny the loan. And that's the end of my presentation. Paige Dow from the Abode team is here, and she has a brief presentation, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you have for me while I bring up her presentation.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Paige Dow, Senior Project Manager with Abode Communities. I just have a brief presentation prepared focused on design for brevity, but I'm happy to answer any questions about financing or other aspects of the project. So before talking about the design, I wanted to give a summary of the community outreach that we held, because that really informed the design that we incorporated, and you'll see that in the slides moving forward. So we held 3 community outreach events. We had about 150 attendees across these 3 events, and these were both in-person and virtual, with an open house format for community members to interactively provide feedback on the design. So on these slides, we'll talk about some of the ideas that we heard and how they've been incorporated into our design. So we heard a strong desire for a safe outdoor space, and we really oriented the site plan to protect that by having parking and vehicular access focused on the rear of the property and ensuring that there was this large central courtyard and paseo protected from vehicles for safe outdoor space and play. We also tried to facilitate residents feeling close to their neighbors by having all of the community spaces oriented off a central courtyard to facilitate interaction. Again, the safe walking and bike routes, both through this extension of the bike path and walk path, and also through the way we designed the site plan with keeping the vehicles separate from the outdoor space. We also heard that heat was a concern, and you'll see how we've tried to incorporate that throughout the design. And then prioritizing parking through 240 parking spaces, so 1-for-1 parking. Okay, some other ideas we heard were to keep the design clean and modern. You'll see some inspiration images here on this slide. And then some ways we incorporated other feedback, like to mitigate the heat, we're proposing a pleated facade along Bruceville. You can see that example image up here at the top. And this is orienting the windows away from the westward facing sun and hopefully mitigating the heat impacts and also providing that modern look and breaking up the facade and adding interest. Having contrasting light and dark colors to also help with that modern look. And then having these varied building heights that you can see here and materials to really break up the massing and facade and provide more of a community village feel. This is a slide just showing some of the textures and colors we're planning for and the materials with some accent materials such as siding and tile brick accent, as well as sunshades and perforated screens and some stucco. We also wanted to highlight the landscaping since there is so much outdoor space in this site. So we have this large central courtyard and paseo that incorporates many amenities. As Sarah mentioned, a splash pad for children, several play areas, seating areas, incorporating native landscaping throughout, and barbecue areas. I'll just flip through some views of the project, some renderings. So this is what we view as the key view to the project. This is along Bruceville Road, facing north. We think this is the kind of the key moment and corner that people will really experience the project. And so we've tried to add some key design elements and accents here with this brick tile. This is a view of the pedestrian paseo and courtyard. If you're standing along Mashpee Way looking into the project, you can see how we've envisioned this to be a safe and active play space for residents. I wanted to showcase this view to visualize how we've tried to mimic the smaller scale single-family homes neighborhood to the east of the site. So we've stepped down the building height to be 3 stories along Barnstable and added these stoops to give it more of a smaller scale residential feel. And that is it. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. At this time, I'll open up public comment first. Let's see, nobody has signed up to speak. I'll close public comment and open it up for questions or comments from colleagues. I'll start to the left. Councilmember Suen.
Thank you, Mayor. Vice Mayor Robles and I served on the Affordable Housing Committee, so we got the opportunity to see this March 31st. I have to admit, I struggled with my old adage about the patios. And so, but I did hear the concerns of the applicant, and I appreciated their attempt to break up the massing, the different materials, and you saw the different architectural features that really makes it not look like a lack of a better term, cheap project. So I do appreciate that. And then the accommodations of the public comments to have that interior space, maximizing the utility of that interior space. So, and the different colors as well. So all of that said, that for me, that addressed my concerns. I still don't like the fact that it's $662,000 a unit. That's just something, a broader issue about affordable housing when we talk about building these projects. But nonetheless, it's going to provide a great use for our residents and address the housing crisis. So with that, I'm happy to support the project.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I, too, echo the same comments that Councilman Suen has been saying. I know that usually we talk a lot about balconies, and I want to just address that on this one for this project going down Bruceville. When this would be one that kind of, we want to make sure that the sites, as you're driving, like the scenery, that people aren't actually putting stuff on the balconies, that you can see that on Bruceville. So the aesthetics are a lot different, but it's something different that hasn't been seen in Elk Grove, especially with the brick lane aesthetics on there. I truly appreciate the fact that it's 3 stories on the other side when it comes to the houses for the residents. That's something, and then you can kind of see it get bigger as it goes in there. I appreciate the fact that and I don't want to I think the water fountain's going, is that? did I s-
Splash pad, yes.
Splash
Yeah.
pad, and we're going to have that, correct? We're not going to get rid of the splash pad?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure we get that one because we've seen before how people will change it, but I know that that's going to be something cool and exciting to see. And then not only that, but also shade trees. There's a lot of shade trees there so that folks can go outside and walk along the trail there. So as Councilman Suen said too, it is super expensive, but again, we're trying to work towards affordability for folks, and it's going to be helping several folks who need it. And that's something that we as Elk Grove can be super proud of. Make sure that we're providing housing for folks.
Thank you. Councilmember Brewer.
So I want to thank you for being here tonight to answer some of these questions regarding Abode and the whole disposition and development agreement and how that all is going to come about. I know last year you held several workshops to walk people through the concept itself, along with getting people interested in signing up so they could be in line for the lottery for one of these sites when it gets built. As far as timelines go, will the LOI be enough to help get phase one put in anticipation of phase two? That's the first question. And what does the timeline look like to allow for the other consideration for developmental disabilities individuals to be put into the process for consideration for units as they become built, especially as we look at phase two? Those are my two questions.
Sure. For the first question, the LOI allows us to demonstrate site control to move forward with our application to the state for the multifamily housing program. And so that will allow us to apply for and hopefully secure financing while we continue to work on the DDA as the entitlements continue to move through that process. And then in terms of phase two, I guess in terms of timing, we're hoping that if we're successful in securing financing in this round, we'd be starting construction on phase one in mid-2026, with phase two following about a year behind. In terms of the population for phase two, the affordable housing finance landscape is continuously changing, and there's always different incentives and scoring components to keep in mind and considerations, as well as operating subsidy for certain populations, like special needs populations. And so currently, with phase one moving forward, we know that this financing plan works and is competitive with this population in phase one. We imagine the same being true for phase two, but just because those regulations are always changing, I think we're just saying we'll confirm that once we're ready to apply for phase two. Does that answer your question?
No, that does answer my question. I want to thank you for that because things, obviously, there is a commitment to make sure that this project does take place, and there is a commitment on our part to make sure that we do have affordable housing available and that we are building affordable housing, especially where the state is concerned. And just don't want to lose sight of that because of the current volatility in today's market and in today's economy, that that any sort of things that happen in the between now and 2026, that is not lost in both of our joint efforts of trying to create affordable housing here in Elk Grove through the Sheldon Farms project. So I want to thank you for being here and walking us through where things are currently. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Councilmember Spies.
Yes, okay, so for Sarah, so I just want to be sure, I feel like there's two issues that we kind of have muddled together in here. What we're discussing tonight is only the resolution approving a conditional loan commitment, that this is not a final design review tonight?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
The design.
And that'll come in with the DDA?
The entitlements are approved by the Planning Commission for this size of project.
Right.
The DDA will tie the developer to the entitlements package that's approved. that's why we're holding off on doing the DDA right now, is that there are still some changes that need to be made to accommodate some comments that the city has had. And so right now, the loan term sheet that we are asking the council to approve tonight is conditioned on the developer successfully entering a DDA with the city.
Okay. Which includes but I'm trying to figure out the timing of the DDA relative to final design. That's at the same time with the DDA.
The DDA will be done after the entitlements are approved.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Councilmember Suen, for bringing up the issue of the patios and such. I still would like to have them, but I think that in general, this notion or idea of breaking up that facade generally seems to work. We've seen some very monolithic buildings. And I understand we have to be economical, right, with our design, right? I get all of that. But at the same point in time, it's not just the people who live there who have the benefit of the homes. It's the people who are also, driving by, paying their taxes as well as everybody else. So I appreciate that attempt to break up that facade a bit. So I particularly given, go ahead.
Councilman, I just wanted to echo what you were just saying, because that was exactly my statement is, yeah, we're making this project affordable, but all our residents who drive by, right, they have to look at it too. And organically, the patio thing, the conversation was me bringing up the patio thing and then going back with the applicant and staff about concerns about maintaining it. So from a cost perspective, I said, well, why don't we make these facade type of patios on the outside? Then I realized I'm going down the path what they're trying to accommodate, which is the architecture and the massing. And so anyway, that's how
it seems to me a bit odd that creating an angle like that is less of a cost than putting on a patio, but true. I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not even going to get into it because I think what it does is it makes a visually a better product. So I can appreciate that. And so I'll park it right there so I won't get my mouth in any trouble. So with that, I mean, I'm happy to support the project to support the conditional loan commitment.
Thank you. I too am in support. Great comments from my colleagues. We need more affordable housing, period. And what I like about this, if we can go back to the slide that shows what this looks like one more time. Yeah, I mean, this looks market rate. And that's wonderful. I've seen something comparable in the East Coast where you have the different sizes and the colors. It looks good. So with that, I think, you've done a great job here, both in bringing this forward, and I do support providing that conditional loan commitment to get this going. So with that, can I get a motion?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, next item.
I'll take us to item 9.2 to receive information and consider a resolution adopting a revised code of ethics for the city of Elk Grove.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I'm Kristen Lawrence, your Public Affairs and Communications Manager. I'm presenting this item in my role as the staff liaison for the Diversity and Inclusion Commission. With me tonight is the city's Diversity and Inclusion Commission Chair, Tina Lee Vogt. Over there. Oh, okay. And Brent Burfield, our commissioner who led the subcommittee working on this project. In 2005, members of the community worked with the city council and staff to adopt a code of ethics to establish a culture of ethics and set standards for the behavior of all city employees, of officers, commissions, and elected or appointed officials. At Mayor Singh Allen's request, the city's Diversity and Inclusion Commission reviewed the current code of ethics and have proposed changes to better reflect the city's values of inclusiveness and belonging. Some language was revised to include modern terminology that acknowledges and affirms the diverse identities within the community, and other language was added to encourage cooperation in a spirit of tolerance and understanding. To share a little bit more about their process and approach, Tina and Brent will provide their remarks.
Good evening. I'm Tina Levote, Chair of your Diversity and Inclusion Commission. When we accepted this assignment, one of the things that we noted was the tone of the Code of Ethics seemed to be more somewhat negative and focused more on poor behavior versus really trying to affirm positive actions that the council as well as commission members and staff could take. So we undertook this role very seriously and wanted to have a code of ethics that really reflected the positive nature of the council as it is today. So we really looked at trying to have an approach that affirmed the actions that people could take to uphold their oath and their duty versus trying to be more negative in the approach and saying, don't do this, or just kind of making sure that people understand their role is important, but making sure that they did it in a positive way. And before I turn it over to Brent, I want to acknowledge Brent. Brent was new to our commission when we were working on this. We had been struggling with bringing it forward, and Brent really helped us get it completed. So I wanted to acknowledge the really hard work that Brent did in stepping up and taking the lead to get this completed.
Thank you. Brent Burfield. I'll keep it short. Basically, I wanted to exemplify positive aspects, right? Let's be proud of the work that we're doing. Let's, instead of being, against personal, like Tina was saying, like let's exemplify what's positive and not be focused on the negative aspects. And so that was kind of the guiding light through all of the revisions. So, thank you.
So the revisions before you tonight were unanimously approved by the commission late last year. The council is being asked to repeal the resolution that established the original Code of Ethics and adopt a revised Code of Ethics for the city under a new resolution. We don't have a formal presentation clearly, but we have provided the red line version so you could see the differences between the two versions, and we're available to answer any questions you might have.
At this time, I'll go ahead and open up public comment. Nobody signed up to speak on this. I will close the public comment. And since I brought this forward for consideration, I'll go ahead and provide some introductory remarks. I'm having something like this that's really in the, in the beginning of all of our binders, the beginning of our meetings and all of that, the stuff that we collect in our material. You always see that code of ethics. You see it in other parts of the city as well. So it was important to have that diversity and inclusion lens to update and revise this. This was done how many years ago, did you say, Kristen?
2005.
Yeah, 2005. And clearly our city has grown, we're much more diverse, and having the lens of everybody in the commission weigh in on this is important, because having that input is important. I wasn't part of the original council when this was adopted, but I do think having community, and a community is plural, of having that input on what they want and in their code of ethics as part of the community is important. So I appreciate all the work that you all have done bringing this forward. I don't see any changes that I would like to make, so I do hope that you consider this for adoption. This is a revised, updated version of our code of ethics, and I do appreciate, Tina, what you had mentioned, and you, Brent, as well. When you go to classrooms, you want to have positive words, not negative words. It's what you can do and what you should do, not the don'ts. So it's a different way of looking at things. And it creates that positive, that aspect that you want to see in your community, in your government, and so forth. So I really appreciate that you really looked at language that was much more inclusive and a lot more positive. So thank you for your work on that. So that's sort of, the history of bringing this forward. Any questions on that?
Oh, looks good.
All right, well, I respectfully ask for a motion then.
So moved. Yeah. Second.
One of them. All right, we have a motion.
I wanted to say something.
Yes.
I wanted to say something. So I know in the beginning I wasted trees. I carried a binder, and during the first year, just not only just reading the Code of Ethics, but really absorbing it, because it's supposed to be an aspirational statement of who we are and how we're supposed to represent the city. And I like the updated approach because it's aspirational. And it doesn't just have the onus on just the council. It's on everyone who serves the city in some way, shape, or form. And I really appreciate the work that was put into it by the Diversity and Inclusion Commission. I also want to give a special acknowledgement to Connie Conley because she worked on the initial code of ethics and she took a look at this final cut and she was very helpful in making this what it is today. It stays true to the values of who we are in terms of responsibility, fairness, respect, and honesty. But the bullet points that go in here go a little deeper, have more meaning, and it's exactly what we need for these days and times. So I want to thank Mayor Bobby for bringing this forward and for putting it out there for the Diversity and Inclusion Commission to work on. But I definitely want to commend you for the work that you did, Tina and Brent, and bringing everyone together, because this is truly a really good piece of work. So thank you.
And I'd also like to make sure that I acknowledge your city clerk who gave us really good guidance as we started working on it. So I wanted to make sure that we thanked him for everything and the support because he did that. And also members Jinky Doler, Bhavin Parikh, and Jessica Carter also worked with us on formulating this, and they couldn't be here tonight, but I want to make sure that their work is acknowledged as well. So thank you for the support and your faith in us to take this important document and update it for the city.
Thank you. Thank you for your great work. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, we will move on to our next item.
It's item 9.3 to consider resolution adopting the mission, vision, goals, and priority projects for 2025 and through 2027 and amending the governance principles contained in the Elk Grove City Norms and Procedures Manual.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. Jackie Guzman, Assistant City Manager. And I'm here to summarize the council retreat that happened on February 20th, 2025, and bring back some follow-up action items. So the council meets every 2 years to come together in a retreat and focus on governing principles, community visioning, to review strategic goals and priority projects. And we did meet on February 20th, and I want to just go through a few outcomes from that meeting. The council did affirm its mission, vision, and goals with no changes. You did propose amendments to your norms and procedures, and we also proposed changes to the 2025-2027 priority projects. So I'll go through those. Again, affirming the mission to provide exceptional services that enhance the quality of life for our residents and promote a thriving economy in an efficient and cost-effective manner. And affirming your vision, Elk Grove prioritizes a superior quality of life for all that builds upon the community's diversity and heritage through safe, welcoming, and connected neighborhoods with a variety of residential, educational, and employment choices and amenities that create a sense of place. You also affirmed your city goals. You have 4 city goals: a vibrant community and sustainable economy with diverse businesses and amenities, a safe and resilient community, a high-performing and financially stable city government, and a city with infrastructure that meets its current and future needs. We did review the city's council norms and procedures, and you had 2 things that you focused on for changes. You proposed 2 new governing principles. The 7th principle will now be we listen to and demonstrate respect for each other, staff, and the community. And the 8th principle will be we continually build trust and relationships with each other, staff, and the community. We also had a discussion around proclamations and certificates of recognition or appreciation. And you desired to change or really clarify some language there to document really a past practice and a practice that you want to memorialize, which is that these certificates of recognition and appreciation should be a matter of local concern within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city, or the recipient of a recognition should have direct ties to the city of Elk Grove. And I'll just note that for those, we've included red line changes in the packet so that you can clearly see where those changes were to your norms and procedures. In terms of priority projects, these continuously change every 2 years because there are projects that are completed or new projects or refinements. And so this year we did remove completed projects that are now in the ongoing maintenance phase, or projects that are being put on hold indefinitely. We refined some project scopes, mostly because we're in a different phase of that project. And then we added new projects to our priority projects. The 5 new projects that were added: a fish hatchery nature area, establishment of a permanent homeless shelter, an arts and creative economy strategy, annexation projects, and a courtyard master plan. And again, the full list of priority projects is attached to the agenda item. So our recommendation tonight around these action items is that the City Council approve a resolution adopting the city's mission and City Council vision statement, goals, and priority projects for 2025-27, and that the City Council approve proposed amendments to the Elk Grove City Council Norms and Procedures Manual in alignment with your direction to staff. I do also want to mention that there was other direction to staff that was given at the council retreat. These are not actions that are being taken tonight, but these are additional follow-up items that will come back to council. You did desire to propose a process for instituting terms, not term limits, for members of city commissions and committees. That should come back to you in the next council meeting on April 23rd. And then we are also evaluating subsidies for low-income residents and seniors on fixed income. You should see that in the spring. We're also exploring enhancing youth engagement and programming, and we've started analyzing that and exploring those options, and we'll come back to you for that. And with that, concludes my presentation. Happy to take any questions.
All right, excellent presentation and recap. So let's see, I will go ahead and open up public comment. I don't see anyone signed up to speak. I'll go ahead and close the public comment opportunity and open it up for any questions or comments, but I think you did a great job summarizing what took place, including those wonderful graphics. Any questions or comments?
Move to adopt the resolution.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Next item is item 9.4, which is to consider appointment of one voting member to the Historic Preservation Committee, which could include a possible appointment of an alternate member, and appointment of one voting member to the Diversity and Inclusion Commission. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. I'm Jason Lindgren, your city clerk. As of the printing of our staff report, the world keeps moving and there's a lot of pieces that we're moving around. So what you will find tonight is that for the Historic Preservation Committee, you had 6 total applications. One was pulled back out from consideration. But for the Historic Preservation Commission, what we have is a vacancy for a voting member position. If you do elect of the current existing members, there are 2 alternates, and one of those alternates could be moved up to be a voting member. Then you could use our applicant pool in order to find an alternate. And then with our Diversity and Inclusion Commission, you will have 24 applications. As far as folks that have qualified applications, I think we have several members in the audience tonight wishing to speak, so I will give the floor over to them to present their case.
All right, excellent. At this time, I'll go ahead and open up the public comment opportunity. We have several people signed up. We'll start with Teresa Plumutil. You'll have to correct me. Followed by Dr. B.J. Snowden.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of council. My name is Teresa Plumutil, and I'm honored to stand here as an applicant for the Diversity and Inclusion Commission. I have been attending the Diversity and Inclusion Commission meetings for the past few months, and it's been wonderful to see and hear the work that goes behind the scenes of our welcoming city. At the January meeting, during public comment portion, I spoke on the importance of making sure our residents know they have resources, especially during a time when federal immigration policies are shifting rapidly. People need to know they can continue to feel safe, to feel seen, and they are welcome in Elk Grove. I want to take a moment to thank the city for its public statement on February 11th on remaining committed to upholding California laws regarding immigration status. This message was more than just information, it was reassurance. For many in our community, it was a sigh of relief to hear that their city stands with them. That kind of transparent, timely communication is essential to building trust in our institutions and reassuring community members that their city is listening and responsive to their concerns. Over the years, I've been fortunate to work in roles that center equity, accessibility, and inclusion, alongside community advocacy. Community advocacy is what I believe is the backbone of meaningful progress. In my time as a disability analyst for the state of California and through diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts in both public and private sectors, I've supported outreach efforts, helped implement inclusive practices, and worked alongside communities that are often left out of decision-making, like Section 8 tenants, foster youth, individuals with disabilities, and elderly community. My academic background in ethnic studies with a focus on gender and sex in communities of color has continued to shape the way that I show up in my work. In my professional life and personal, whether supporting shelters, assisting with compliance, or helping connect people to resources, my goal has been to make systems a little more responsive and accessible for those who need them most. If appointed, I hope to bring both professional perspective and lived experience to the table. Like many, I am a woman of color, and I am a first-generation American. I've been in Elk Grove since 2003. Middle school and high school was all here. And I know what it's like to navigate systems that weren't built with everyone in mind. And I'm committed to Elk Grove's work on leading with compassion, transparency, and meaningful community connection. Whether or not I'm considered for appointment, I will continue to show up for our city in the best ways I can. I appreciate your time and for considering my voice in this work.
Thank you. Next up is Dr. B.J. Snowden, followed by John Mua. Okay, maybe in the hallway. Mr. Snowden, if you're here in the hallway, we'll come back to you. All right, we'll go to John Mua, followed by Nabila Khan.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council members. My name is John Moa. Thank you for the opportunity to speak in regards to the diversity and inclusion vacancy. Being born to immigrant parents, I've experienced firsthand the social injustice and racial disparity because of my background. From being told, we can't service you, to go back to your country. I've often thought that if these people would just take the time, they'd understand that everyone deserves decency. My family and I moved to Northern California in the mid-2000s. We settled in Elk Grove because of its distinguished school district, beautiful parks, and richness in diversity. Over the last 2 decades, I spent my time volunteering for nonprofit organizations, meeting with community members, talking to business owners from diverse backgrounds. I've served on the board of my church, both locally and nationally. But equally meaningful, I spent time educating and reminding my own children the importance of diversity and inclusion because everyone deserves decency. Professionally, I've worked for Covered California, where we provide access to affordable health plans. I've worked for the Department of Healthcare Services, managing the medical eligibility systems, which provides medical benefits to 15 million Californians. Currently, I am a manager at the Air Resources Board, which recognizes the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion and we are working on addressing the needs to become an organization that serves all of California. Throughout my career, I've served underprivileged and undersupported demographics. I've worked with and have managed highly diverse, cross-functioning teams, ensuring that all individuals have a voice at the table regardless of background. Standing here before you, I have strong support for my candidacy from local residents, leaders in the community, leaders in state service, and government officials like the mayor of Clovis, whom all have written letters of recommendation and submitted it on my behalf. My experience, background, and dedication has deepened my passion and understanding in designing policies and initiatives to promote opportunity for all. Lastly, I have always been proud that Elk Grove was defined by this compassion and assurance for all, as proclaimed in 2016. This is no place for hate. I am committed to serving with integrity and making a positive impact on the issues that matter to our city. I would be honored to work for the committee in furthering the assurance that everyone deserves decency. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Next up is Nabila Khan, followed by Kevin Mantilla.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for this time and being able to offer my advocacy for this appointment to your commission. My name is Nabila Khan, and I would like to tell you a little bit about myself today and why I think I could be a valuable resource in this role. My fiance and I recently moved to Elk Grove, 2 years, actually next week, and we're looking forward to making this place our home. I work full-time as a senior corporate accounting manager, and I'm also a certified public accountant with the state of California. In my line of work, I not only crunch numbers, but I also write, recommend, and implement financial policies. The specific task is one that involves communicating with various stakeholders at my company and across various departments, managing a variety of problems unique to each of their groups, and my job is to ensure that they all have a responsible and functional way to move forward in business. When I graduated high school, and I won't tell you when, I was the recipient of the Presidential National Volunteer Service Award. I was nominated by a registered volunteer group leader in my hometown for completing over 250 hours of community service at that time. When I attended college at UC Berkeley, I volunteered for 3 years with the East Bay Area Youth Center to provide after-school tutoring services at public elementary schools in Oakland, working directly with public school teachers, students, and parents. One of those years, I was also a program coordinator. At my core, I've always been passionate about community service, diversity, and inclusion at all levels, and I'm well acquainted with the human touch that it requires. I'll end my statement here by saying that my fiance and I hope to start our family here one day. I have a vested personal interest in protecting and advancing diversity and inclusion in our neighborhoods and our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Kevin Mantilla, followed by Carlise Laurent.
Hi, good evening. My name is Kevin Mantilla. I have applied to the open seat on the Diversity and Inclusion Commission. In my professional experience, I'm an engineer in the tech industry with a Bachelor of Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering. It's an industry that I developed my project management skills, which I believe would serve well on this commission. Despite the technology focus of my education, I have always strived to be an advocate for diversity and inclusion. I was a member of the employee resource group whose purpose was to help create a safe and welcoming environment for LGBT+ employees, enabling them to do their best work. I've also marched with that company at the Sacramento and San Francisco Pride rallies, being a visible ally and promoting a message of unity. More locally, I've involved myself with support groups at the Sacramento LGBT Center, and I've also facilitated public social soccer meets with the goal of creating a safe space for people of all identities to freely participate in sports. Additionally, I'm a passionate educator. At university, I was a tutor as well as a workshop chairman for my university's chapter of IEEE, facilitating educational events on electronics and career development. I want to serve on this commission to be an ambassador and educator here in Elk Grove and help make it the best city it can be and continue its goal of being a city welcome to all. Thank you very much, City Council members, for your consideration. I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you. Next up is Carlise Laurent, followed by Jade Rogers.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, Mayor, City Council. Carlise Laurent. I have some written down, but there's a lot of educated people here in Elk Grove, and I'm sure they know how to write a list of things and a list of education that we all have. But what I can say is I am happy that I live in a community that has the amount of people that's interested in contributing to our city. When you look up diversity and inclusion, well, when you look up diversity in a dictionary, it defines me. I come from a background of not having anything, HUD homes, using state systems. I have worked my way up into middle class. I am a Black man. I am gay. I am married to a Caucasian man. And so I'm aware of how everything pretty much works. I applied for this position last year because it was something near and dear to my heart. But then I don't think I was all the way ready. This isn't a position that I want to put on my resume because of a job that I'm looking for. This isn't something that I want to move up. I want to get to move up with politically. This is something that I want to do because it's near and dear to my heart. The reason why is because we sit and we complain about how things are not going. And, you know, I have people come to my house and they say, well, Elk Grove is not this and Elk Grove is not that. And I'm around a lot of great Elk Grovians and I see the change that they are trying to make. So rewind, 13 years ago, my in-laws moved here. We used to come here a lot. I can say Elk Grove was not where it needed to be for my liking to feel comfortable. 3 years ago, we made the move here. I love the city. We came from Fresno. I love the city. I'm not looking back. This is where I want to be. So I thought to myself, where can I plant my seeds here in Elk Grove? This is a place I want to grow with. I want to continue to help and push because this is a progressive city. I see the progression happening, and this is something I want to be a part of. I volunteer my time. I'm part of the chamber. I was an ambassador for the chamber. I'm part of the LGBT Real Estate Alliance. However, I don't just volunteer just to volunteer because I like being at home and I like my time. If I do volunteer, it's because I can make a difference and it's something that basically is special to me. Like I said, I had a whole speech I could have written, but ultimately I'm out here, I actually do the work, I actually show up, I actually volunteer and people actually know me. So I can write this whole speech about anything, but I'm actually in the field. I'm in the low income housing. I'm out here at the bars. I'm out here volunteering my time. So at the end of the day, I hope I am considered because I will show up and I always do show up. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next is Jade Rogers, followed by Derica Moore.
Good evening, Mayor Singh Allen, Vice Mayor, and council members. My name is Jade Rogers, she, her, hers, and I'm a proud, lifelong Elk Grove resident, a mother, and a passionate advocate for social justice. I believe deeply in creating spaces where everyone, regardless of ability, background, or circumstance, is seen, heard, and valued. My husband, Gino, and I met at Laguna Creek High School, go Cardinals. He works for EGUSD and is currently the head JV high school coach there. He's also a wheelchair user. Together, we're raising our daughter Indigo, who is autistic and has ADHD, in the same schools we once attended. We love the city, but there are moments when Elk Grove doesn't fully see families like ours. For example, when Gino can't access playgrounds with Indigo because of gravel paths or lack of ramps, or when we struggle to find enclosed parks that keep our daughters safe from elopement. These are more than inconveniences, they're barriers to equity. I envision an Elk Grove where families with neurodivergence, physical disabilities, and varied cultural identities feel supported in every space. This vision requires education, thoughtful outreach, and ongoing advocacy, all of which I bring to the table. Professionally, I serve as the AmeriCorps manager for 916 Inc. and the Fund Development Manager with Celebration Arts Theater, two organizations rooted in storytelling, youth empowerment, and community voice. I've raised vital funds for programs uplifting Black and Brown youth, LGBT plus creatives, and individuals impacted by disability and poverty. But I don't just fundraise, I advocate, and I continue just to build on that. I hold a degree in reconciliation studies, which is another word for conflict resolution, and I am a certified circle trainer in social justice. In 2021, I co-facilitated racial healing justice circles at Sac State with over 120 participants. These spaces prioritize listening, empathy, and accountability, principles I would bring to this commission. I also know this work is not always easy. Conversations about equity can be emotional, and they should be. That passion shows care. But meaningful progress requires collaboration, trust, and calling people in, not calling them out. That's the space I hold, one of grace, growth, and shared responsibilities. Elk Grove is a beautifully diverse city, but diversity alone isn't the finish line. Inclusion asks, are our sidewalks and events accessible? Are we co-creating policies with our communities, not just for them? To the current commission, thank you for the foundation you've built thus far. I would be honored to continue that work with you, not just as a voice at the table, but as someone who's who's helping build a table where everyone belongs. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Next up is Jerika Moore, followed by Nathaniel Kopis.
Hello, Council. How you doing? I just wanted to come up here to introduce myself and let you know, put a face to a name. Also, began by being a part of the Elk Grove 101 class. I was in the first class they had, and that got me more interested about doing something in Elk Grove because I do a lot in Sacramento, which is where I grew up and where I go to church, where I work. And so I'm very involved in Sacramento, but I was like, I need to be more involved in where I live and pay taxes. And, and where I'm at, I want to spend more time in Elk Grove. So I thought this seemed like a very good committee to be a part of because clearly I'm Black, but I also have been involved in many things, diversity and inclusion in Sacramento, be it with my church, not particularly with my job because I'm a federal worker, and but with a previous job, I used to be the control over at Loaves and Fishes, and so you had to be very involved in Loaves and Fishes, that no matter what your position was, and I just wanted to be involved in this committee, and I thought, but I didn't know so many people want to be involved in this committee. I was like, my goodness, but that's good. That means it's a good committee. That's what it's telling me. So if I'm one of the ones you select, that'd be great. If not, I'll still come out and be involved. And yeah, because we also have a Elk Grove 101 kind of subcommittee that when we get together every Tuesday and figure out other things we can do within the city. So that's what I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Nathaniel Kopis, followed by Shweta Dalla.
I'll keep this short just like me. So, just a little bit about myself. So far, I'm the only one here for the Historical Preservation Committee, so it's kind of cool, I guess. Academically, I went to UC Davis. I graduated in 2016. I had my bachelor's in history, and I minored in anthropology, where I specialize in archaeology, especially in California and the Great Basin and Oregon. So I do know a little bit about the Miwok and the Northern Nisenan people. So I do know a little bit about Elk Grove, and that will help with my expertise around, with the Indian and the Native American peoples that were here beforehand. Also with the history as well. One thing that was said earlier that, Elk Grove was becoming established in 1850, and that's true. 1850, Elk Grove was, a bit of a crossroads, and, it is kind of how it is today. It is a bit of a crossroads where you have a big infusion from a lot of people coming in from the Bay Area as well as other parts of the country coming in and moving in. Bringing new culture and infusing it. And during that infusion, you also lose a lot of what was, Elk Grove as well. And so, what I would like to do is try to help contain and maintain that culture rather, and, bring out that culture and help show that, Elk Grove is more than just a crossroads. It's more than just a stopway, more than just a Monterey Trail. We were, a big meeting ground for the Miwok people, the Northern Nisenan, and a bunch of, indigenous peoples, as well as, gold mining communities, as well as, the many other ethnic people like the large Chinese communities that we also had before, as well as, other peoples. So, and more about me as well, the history portion. I studied history. I did a lot of research. A lot of my research was based on more on European history. But with that, I did put a lot of emphasis with the sciences behind it. A lot of it was more climate-based. So I did a lot of climate. Specifically, I did a lot of stuff that was very novel at UC Davis, which was I studied how the ocean and the climatology affected the Greek trading culture. So that's something I would use and utilize sciences when it would come to that.
It
Anyways,
happens pretty quickly.
thank you. Sorry about that. Anyways,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, next up is Shweta Dalla, followed by Katie Houston.
Good evening, everyone. Respected Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council members. My name is Shweta, and I'm currently a member of HPC, and I joined last September. I believe successful cities are a good blend of mixed land use, diverse communities, effective governance, and varied economy, and I'm proud to say Elk Grove has it all. The old town or historic area of any city is as important as the downtown or financial district. It should boast about a city's culture and its birth. All efforts should be made to keep the essence of the history alive, and committees like HPC can help the city in keeping the historic fabric intact. In last 6 months, I have thoroughly enjoyed being a part of the committee, be it giving my opinion or learning from my peers. I believe my background in planning will help me contribute effectively in HPC. I understand getting a footfall in historic town is important, so we need to carefully navigate with good mix of entertainment, public spaces, restaurants, and offices. My newest favorite is the Tule Cafe, and the artist did a great job with the murals. It is an excellent example of community involvement. I recently joined the Elk Grove 101 program recommended to me by my chair to understand my city and its governance better, and I love it so far. And I, along with the committee, strive to make HPC more involved with the city and to keep our historic area thriving. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Katie Houston, followed by Dr. Tristan Bazzini.
Hi, good evening, Mayor Singh Allen and council members. My name is Katie Houston. I'm a mental health provider in the Sacramento, Yolo, and El Dorado counties. I'm here to express my strong support for Dr. Tristan Bazzini's appointment to the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Commission. In my work Serving youth in underserved communities, I've seen firsthand the impact of Dr. Bazzini's leadership and expertise. He's not only advocates for marginalized populations, but actively equips providers like myself to better serve our communities with compassion, cultural humility, and commitment to equity. And Dr. Bazzini has the knowledge, integrity, and dedication that will strengthen this committee, especially in the face of complex social and political challenges that we're navigating today. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Next up is Dr. Tristan Bazzini.
Good evening, Mayor Singh Allen and honorable council members. It's truly a pleasure to be here with you this evening and to make your acquaintance. My name is Dr. Tristan Bazzini. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist with 15 years of progressive and multifaceted leadership experience in city, county, and state government positions. I bring to you both experience of value and enthusiasm to contribute to our community as an important member of the City of Elk Grove's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Commission. My experience and expertise converge at the nexus of providing mental health services to diverse, vulnerable, and underserved populations in our community, training, supervising, and statewide subject matter expertise in full spectrum DEI policy development, program implementation, staff and citizen training, community needs assessment, stakeholder engagement, and compliance and feedback reporting, with particular specializations in the area of LGBTQ+ and gender diverse patient care. I more recently received a State Distinguished Service Medal for my work and leadership implementing SB 132 statewide in accordance with the Transgender Rights and Dignity Act. At present, my community leadership engagement includes service to the Sacramento Valley Psychological Association as the diversity chair and incoming president of their board of directors. I am actively involved in advancing DEI within the city of Elk Grove and our greater Sacramento area through community outreach, legislative advocacy, and program and event development. I offer trainings, mentorship, and teaching in our communities to further protect and promote DEI for future generations. As a graduate of Equality California's LGBTQ+ Political Leadership Academy and member of the 2025 Victory Foundation candidate and campaign class, I am passionate about continuing to offer my knowledge, skills, and expertise to support and protect DEI initiatives, legislation, education, and awareness at all levels of our city, state, and federal government. Thank you for your consideration. I hope to be chosen to serve the city of Elk Grove alongside you and look forward to the possibility of working with you soon.
Thank you. All right, next up is Dr. Andrew Smith, and followed by, if Dr. BJ Snowden is here, would be the last speaker.
Hello, Mayor Allen and board. Thank you for having me. I'm Dr. Andrew Smith. I am a licensed clinical psychologist. I am an Elk Grove resident. I also have practiced in Elk Grove as well as Sacramento. And I know Tristan, Dr. Bazzini. I'm here to support him in his candidacy. I serve on the board with him of Sacramento Valley Psychological Association. I'm the current president. And so I can attest to Dr. Bazzini's enthusiasm for equity, diversion, and inclusivity. He is probably our most passionate member. And we're all pretty like-minded on this, but on the board, he's the one who brings so much to us with regard to what can we do in the community. And for me, my platform for this year is to bring psychologists more into the community. We have a systems level perspective that we don't often get to use because we're stuck in our offices. But Tristan's never been just stuck in his office. He's been out in the community providing valuable teaching, mentorship. He's supervised upcoming psychologists to provide sensitive care to those vulnerable populations. And I think that one of the things that he can bring to the board, in addition to this systems level understanding and government understanding that he's been in, is the mental health perspective. He really understands the toll that it can take on someone to be misunderstood, misgendered, misabled, all sorts of things. I think he has a real heartfelt perspective on that he can bring to both, he lives this, what he does. You can just see it in how he talks about things. So I think he'd be an excellent candidate for you.
Thank you. And our final speaker, if he's here, is Dr. B.J. Snowden. Okay, so we will go ahead and close the public comment opportunity on item 9.4. I'm going to start with the easy one, the Historic Preservation Committee. So I would like to move forward Shweta Dalla from the alternate to the voting member. And then I would like to recommend Nathaniel Kopis for the alternate position. That sounded?
So
Okay.
moved. Yeah.
All right. The next one is going to be the hard one. As always, I want to thank all of the applicants and particularly those that came out this evening to speak on your behalf of yourself or somebody else. Really, really appreciate it. And what I saw in this application pool is a number of new applicants, which is really exciting to see. Highly, highly qualified background here of new applicants. It's just phenomenal. So I wish I had spots for everybody, but this is always the hard part, is to recommend somebody. In looking at the makeup of the current D&I Commission, we have a majority women on the board, and I think we only have 3 men, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? I have
look,
Brent,
but-
Bhavin,
yeah.
and Michael. So what I checked earlier, but just in case I missed somebody, I want to know. But, so I do intend to nominate someone to fill some of the void here with, what your unique perspective is. What is it that you bring to the table? What is your lived experience? And you've made this very hard for me. Because all of you have great histories and background. There's 3 that I have flagged for consideration, and we can discuss those. One is Tristan Bozzini. The second is Carlise Laurent. And the third, and I will say the one that I got the most support from, lots of letters of support, is John Mua. So those are the 3 that I would like to discuss for consideration. I'm torn. I don't have one over another. I'd be curious if you have any relationships with, I of course know Carlise, and I think all of you know Carlise. But it's hard for me to overlook the vast number of just those letters of support and testimonials for John Mua. They were quite compelling. I don't know if you all got copies, but I certainly did, and just remarkable. Tristan, what you shared here, and then, of course, the 2 speakers that supported, that came up in support of you, quite compelling, as well as what you bring to the table. And Carlise, just the tenacity of coming back and wanting to be a part of this. So thank you for that. Those are the 3 that I'm looking at right now.
I can start. Are you, did you say Carlise had applied?
He mentioned, I think you applied last year.
You applied last year, Carlise?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that is something we look at, just that tenacity.
So, I've met Carlise before many a times. In fact, I have tie envy, Carlise. You always got the flashy tie, my friend. But I've had the opportunity to talk to Carlise many times over the last couple of years. He has been an active supporter of the Chamber of Commerce. He's there like tirelessly and very committed. So I can bear witness to his commitment. And so not only that, he's a great guy, fun to hang out with. But I can, while all 3 that you have recommended, in fact, I hate every time we say, oh, we got a great selection of people. We do.
We do. We really
We absolutely do. We have a fantastic, group. But, if I was going to try to help you solve the quagmire, it would definitely be Carlise.
Good to know. Anybody else?
Mayor, if I could chime in on that too, because.
Okay, I'll go after you.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, Councilmember. These are all great applicants. I just wanted to highlight too, I heard you say, Madam Mayor, about the majority of women, but I could not get a shout out to Deneva Shelton and
Of course.
Ashu Mishra and others on here that, also active in the community.
Very.
But bringing it back to what you said, and much respect to Mr. Mua as well, and Dr. Bazzini. Carlis really spoke to me during his testimony, is that he does show up. I mean, in terms of, I know everybody here would show up, but he's been there. We all know him because he's been involved volunteering in several different capacities already. And so that's what stood out for me. And actually, you reminded me that he had already applied before. So that kind of put me over the top on that one.
And I didn't want to overlook also Michael Hill.
Oh, yeah, and he was
he's coming back,
yeah.
but it would be short-lived, so I guess part of my pause was he wouldn't be here for an indefinite period of time. It would perhaps be just less than a year.
Yeah.
And he didn't come here. I think he's traveling back. So I do always appreciate when you come up here and you show up the evening of the appointment and you make that case for yourself. Makes it a little easier because the applicant pool is just so great.
Yeah, and Michael Hill did a great job. For me, it's just he'd done it before, so I want to give someone else a chance. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this committee, this commission always gives us a spoil of riches of very qualified and in a lot of cases overqualified applicants. But that shows you the passion that people have for Elk Grove, but really want to put their best foot forward when it comes to dealing with the issues of the day and how this city grows. We had a lot of great applicants like Dr. Mua, Dr. Bazzini, Jade Rogers. I mean, he had a really good strong group of people.
Mark
That's why it's so hard tonight.
And that's why it's a hard selection. But even for the people who are not here, knowing those individuals and what they bring to the table brings out a good, strong breadth of applicants. But I think like everyone else, I mean, because I've talked to Carlis, I've known Carlis for a long time. And just, there's folks when you have conversations, you just listen. You listen of who they are and why they are here in Elk Grove, what attracted them to Elk Grove, but what they are doing on a day-to-day basis to make Elk Grove better. And Carlis applying for this was very, very telling for me in this respect.
Yeah.
But this is no slight towards the other applicants. I really believe that folks stay involved, stay engaged. We have a lot of commissions to be involved with, in addition to still being involved with the Diversity and Inclusion Commission as a non-member, because your voice will still be heard and your voice will still be a part of what we do here in the community. I just thank everyone for coming tonight and sharing your testimonials, why you should be here. I mean, it's a really good field of applicants tonight. But from my perspective, I do like having Carlis on the commission to in this round. And who knows, in a couple of weeks, all of you will probably be up for consideration again, as we may have another member vacancy open. So I hope you don't take this tonight as a rejection. Please stay involved. Please stay engaged, because we could definitely use your voice. So thank you.
Well, that certainly makes things easier. It's
Madam Mayor, if
you've picked one of my three. You have something else? Yeah.
I just wanted to add, I just want to thank everyone for speaking. We have 11, we're one Elk Grove, but we have 11 people who have applied from District 4.
Don't even go there. Don't even go there.
11 people that applied from District 4.
Turn your mic off.
And I just want to say thank you, right? Because just saying, we're putting ourselves out there, and a lot of folks from District 4 are, but no.
Okay, so since you brought up District 4, I do want to mention the disproportionate representation on the board already.
I know, but I kind of wanted, I'll
Yeah.
continue a little bit. Well, we can talk about I mean, you guys got to get your
No.
districts to come out.
In terms of,
But I wanted to
who's
say.
already on the commission.
No, yes, but I just wanted to say thank you. One, because, and I don't want to butcher the last name, but Teresa, thank you, because the first thing you said is you talked about you wanting to make an impact in this, especially when it comes to immigration. That's something that right now that's under attack. DEI is under attack. Everything is under attack right now. And to see residents are coming out and wanting to be a part of this and wanting to be a part of the solution, thank you. And whether tonight doesn't go this, I want to continue having this conversation because it really matters, not only here in Elk Grove, but here in our region. I hear you, I see you, thank you. Jade, thank you for what you've done as well, helping in Loaves and Fishes. We need more people to come out and help out over here as well. I believe it was, sorry, because I have names here, so I apologize. But we also need people that come from, Laguna Creek, right? Laguna Creek High School. We also need folks to come out. There is the Heart Association, or Elk Grove Heart, right, that deals with homeless, that we can also become a part. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. And also, Carlise, I've been part of our community, coming in and out of events. But not only that, I met you 3 years ago when you moved here, when you first moved here. When I knocked on your door, when I was running for city council, you were open and you just started asking questions. And thank you for just being super friendly and being welcoming, and not only that, but wanting the best for this city. I just want to say I appreciate everybody. I think we kind of know the consensus. and I'll let
Not
you-
necessarily, I'm still discussing.
Okay, all right.
So just as a reminder, we only have one commissioner from District 1. I don't, and so that isn't, representation does matter. Can we do you have the breakup, Mr. Lindgren? But as I recall, there's only one from District 1.
It's 4 from 2, 2 from 3, 2 from 4,
Yeah.
1 from 1.
So that matters in the sense that we do like to have geographic representation. Now, does it does it overweigh sort of your lived experience and what you bring to the table? Not necessarily. But I just want to put that there under consideration, that Tristan and Mr. Mua are the two that have District 1.
1.
So that, but then Carlise is a return applicant, which we do, for those of you that have applied, we do give a lot of consideration for your willingness to come back. If you didn't get the appointment, that you reapply because you believe in the work. We've given a lot of consideration to those appointments as well. But does that change any of your thoughts on Mr. Laurent?
Sounds like you got a tough decision to
make. Yes, I do.
How do you feel about it, Aaron?
Because I'm torn now, actually, just knowing that we only have one from one.
Yeah, I mean, it is tough, I guess. Gosh, I go back though to if you're putting in the work. I mean, that's the only thing.
That's the most important thing, and that's
Yeah.
where your lived experience and what you're bringing to the table is probably the most important. I think geographic representation for the Planning Commission, absolutely important. For this, it's important, but is it the driving factor? Probably not as compelling. I mean, I wish I had more seats to offer, but I don't. So I would like to put forward Carlise's name for not only your lived experience and what you bring to the table, but the work. I know that this will be a continuation for your dedication to the city. From the moment you've arrived, you've rolled up your sleeves and you've gone to work. And we've seen that as a result throughout the community, and we've all benefited. To those of you that we did not appoint, those of you that came this evening, please come back. As you see, even in our last round of applications, we ended up appointing somebody that reapplied. It does matter. And so all of you still have a seat at the table. You can go to every single one of these meetings and help shape the direction of the commission, just like here. So please participate, be a part of that, and who knows, you might see yourself as a commissioner sooner rather than later.
Absolutely.
So thank you again for your love of our great city. But we'll move forward to Clarice Laurent for the commission appointment. Congratulations. And with that, we are going to move on to our next item. We're not quite done yet. Council comments, reports, and future agenda items. Does anybody have something to report? I'll start to the right. Mr. Spies?
Oh, of course, when I put my water bottle away. No, I've got that.
Okay. Mr. Brewer?
Sacramento Public Library met on Thursday, March 27th. It was connected with Dennis Busher, where we had a historian that wrote a book about the towns of that made up Sacramento before Sacramento became a town and a city. It was fun. It was good. It was good stuff. Very educational, and just learning about activities the Sacramento Public Library is doing. But other than that, next Wednesday, as part of my role on the Sac Metro board, I'm an alternate to the Capital Corridor JPA board, Joint Powers Agreement Board. I'll be participating on behalf of Sacramento Public SAC Regional Transit for that meeting next Wednesday. But other than that, nothing else to report.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
I waive my report.
Councilmember Suen?
Nothing report committee-wise, but I do want to highlight Coach V is having his Empowerment to Success conference tomorrow at District 56. I think a lot of us are there saying hello, but it's great for the whole community. If
Yes.
you want some very
Very inspiring
uplifting.
person.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's right.
uplifting and inspiring.
Our community.
All right, thank you. With that, I will waive my report. We will adjourn the meeting at 9:13.